that we had, he's 100% going to change his view
I don't think
on
so.
who did better. I
How about
promise
we have
you.
Mason moderate one?
Well,
Right now?
On what proposition?
I just hold on. I can't do it right now.
Anyone. Moral realism, veganism, whatever you want.
3 a.m.
That's super fair.
Yeah.
I have no interest in talking with goons outside. I like being for more hours and completely fuck up.
No, you want to try to get a, you know, I'll tell you what you want to do. You want to try to get a win on me because you've lost the last 3 engagements.
Like,
you have infinite stamina when it comes to engaging, but no one has thought you've done well in the conversation. I promise you that.
You said that about the debate we had. You literally said that about the debate.
No, wait. I actually agree that. Wait. No, I didn't say that. I actually take the view that people do think you did well in the previous conversation or the first conversation we had.
That one because you're a fucking retard. You said you did well.
Yeah, I'll just even grant that I'm a retard. And again, it's going to be skill-based matchmaking. We're both retards. Now let's get back on the proposition that you're willing to defend. What is the proposition you want to debate?
Pick.
What's the proposition you're willing to debate? Yeah, go ahead.
You just want me to pick one? All right. We can do. I don't know. What are your views on philosophy of mind?
Yeah, I'm largely agnostic on that.
You're largely agnostic on that. Are you willing to defend agnosticism?
Willing to defend agnosticism? What do you mean by that? The claim that I'm agnostic?
No, not the claim that you are agnostic, but if you are being rational about the evidence, you're going to be agnostic.
Oh, right? Yeah, I can be persuaded anyway, for sure.
Then you are.
Oh, good.
What?
Yeah, I can be persuaded in any way, for sure.
Wait, hold on. I think you're confused. Sinthe saying, given the collection of evidence that's like available, would you defend that it's like reasonable to be agnostic?
Oh, given what I'm acquainted with?
No. Given the collection of evidence that's available.
Oh, that's available. Well, I'm just well, that would just be something that I'm unacquainted with.
Yeah. Okay.
Unequipped for? Yeah, like every philosophical topic.
Yeah, so I'm just unconvinced of that.
What one do you? Okay, if you don't want to talk about that.
So I'll ask one more time. What's the proposition that you're willing to defend?
I just gave you one example.
What you didn't give me a proposition. Are you retarded? Do you think that was a proposition? What was the proposition?
The proposition in question was the one that we Mason just repeated back to you. The proposition is that
if it's
with
rational
the available
to be agnostic,
body of evidence, that it would be rational to be agnostic.
Okay, you're willing to defend that proposition. Okay.
No, I'm willing to attack that proposition. I'm defending the negation.
Defending the negation. That would be defending a proposition.
Yeah, obviously, Sinthe. Another reasoning error.
Mason's.
You're not very sharp today, Dakota.
What are you talking about? Mason just agreed with what I said. Your friend here is agreeing with me. This motherfucker, I like this motherfucker too. He's both of my friends.
Wait. What do you think I'm incorrect about?
Well, you were saying that Sinthe didn't propose like a proposition that she'd be defending, and I guess she was saying she'd be defending the negation of the proposition.
Oh wait, yeah. I again already changed my view on that as soon as Sinthe said that.
I gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so you conceded another proposition. That's cool. Look, I'll give you more propositions and we can just move through them and you can pick one out of a hat. So how about I don't know. What do you know about modal realism?
I don't know anything about modal realism.
What topics do you know about?
I like to talk about meta ethics mainly. That's probably we can definitely go with something in meta ethics. So what's the proposition you're willing to defend in meta ethics?
Okay, talk about that. Often more realistic.
Okay, and let's just be clear here. And what do you mean by moral realism?
By moral realism, I mean that there are stance-independent reasons. And by stance-independent.
Okay, and then what do you mean by stance-independent reasons?
By stance-independent reasons, I just mean something that counts in favor of an action. Are you asking
something that counts in favor? Wait, just something that counts in favor of an action?
Yes.
And that's a definition of stance-independent reasons.
Yes. I'm just gonna run my same argument on you. You're still not gonna have a response for it, dog. Are you sure you want to do this topic again?
Wait, it's gonna be the same argument? Okay, put it in chat.
There's Masons here, and you can embarrass yourself acting like a freak. You get way more humble. I love that shit. So I'll give you the same argument.
Wait, humble about what? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the argument.
You got a lot more humble about waiting. Yeah, it's the same argument I gave you last time. Should I just repost it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got you. There it is. I kind of formalized that. I think for some, I forget who asked me to formalize that for them, but there's the formalization. Oh, I see. There's the formalization followed with the there's the top with the initial argument below. The argument piece and Any disagreement? Any false propositions there? Disagree with the premise, buddy?
Okay, let's go through here.
Wait,
Premise
before,
one, moral.
before you do this,
You've had several days to prep.
You can read silently. Hold on. I was just curious about the arc for P1, the first premise. Do you take like definitions to be biconditional? Because I'm just reading this as like a definition, like an identity statement.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I'm confused. What are the two propositions that are like biconditionally related in that one? I'm not trying to attack anything. I'm just genuinely confused. Yeah.
In talking P1 arc for one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A universalizable fact about the negativity of a state of affairs is an objective moral judgment. I'm just using that to indicate the biconditional there just indicates the identity relation between universal facts about negativity of a state of affairs and objective moral judgments.
Well, I know, but what are the two propositions that are biconditionally related? Because it just sounds like we're saying like concept.
If it's the case there is a universalizable fact about the negativity of state of affairs, then there is an objective moral judgment.
Okay, yeah, sure. I just want to be super clear on that. Yeah, I feel like you should probably write it out that way, just so it's like super clear.
Well, I read it. I'm not privileged because
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I understand it's a thing, but I prefer it this way. The argument for P1 is almost like relatively like intuitive, given what P1 is. It's just like, hold on, I actually just cut the argument. I think I didn't copy and paste the entire thing. Give me a second here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna like argue about that, but yeah, I was just curious on what that meant.
There we go. Hold on. So P1 is just if experiences of suffering and pleasure are necessarily valued equally to all with epistemic access to their features, then the moral judgments associated with these experiences stands independent. This is something that on itself would have very value. You see like there might be people like disagreements with it, but P1 I feel like provides P1's supplementary argument down below provides a relatively substantive argument in favor of P1. P2 is where I think most people are actually going to disagree, which is the antecedent for P1 is true.
Yeah. I also have one more question. So, would you take it to be the case that universalizable fact about negativity of state of affairs and objective moral judgment, those aren't like the same thing, right?
No, I do take them to the same thing.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me read this one more time. A universalizable fact about the negativity of a state of affairs. Is there not universalizable facts about the positivity of state of affairs?
There is that as well. That's another moral statement. That's another moral judgment.
Would that would be an objective moral judgment? Okay, because you were saying you take them to be the same thing, but that would just mean an objective moral judgment is a thing, is some sort of like category or set or whatever, and that this falls under this set. That they're not.
Well,
like,
I take it to be the case that anything. Right? Well, I take it to be the case that a positive judgment about a state of affairs, the judgment about a positivity of a state of affairs and a judgment about the negativity of a state of affairs are the same judgment. I think those are analytically identical. I think if I say this judgment is 1% bad and this judgment is 9% good, or this is 1% and this is 9%, I'm just saying things.
Okay.
So, like, to say there's no negativity in a state of affairs is a judgment about the negativity. You get what I mean?
Sure. I think I get what you mean. It just feels confusing to me to say that they're analytically the same.
The way I would say it is like
they're categorically the same.
Well, the way to make it obvious, right, is like, given I'm a utilitarian, there's like a kind of clear connection that I think is obvious. Like, imagine a situation where somebody's like, that situation is worse than the other one, even if both situations are really good. It'll judge the negativity. I'd say this is fair, not optimal. Negativity. It's all about the positivity. So like those are inseparable. To judge negativity to judge
okay, I was misunderstanding what you were saying originally. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's fine.
Like one is just the inverse of X, right? And the other one is just X.
Like you would just say a universalizable fact about okay, sure.
They correspond to the same proposition of the world.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay. Now that we're clear on that, Goons, is there any premise here you disagree with? I'm gonna give you a hint.
Okay.
P2 is the one you should disagree with if you're sane. It's up to you though. All the other ones are easy to defend. The P2 requires empirics.
Well, I just want to walk through here for the argument for premise one, and I just want to get a formal argument for premise one. For premise one.
It's down below. I've actually typed it there.
No, you didn't hear what I said. I want a formal argument for premise one. For premise one.
Yo, you want premise one argument? So premise one is a universalizable fact about the negativity of a state of affairs as an objective moral judgment. This is analytic.
Oh, it's just true. Analytic. Okay, so this is just okay. This is analytically. So P1 is analytically true.
Yep.
Okay, and then what's the argument for P2 and the argument for P1?
So do we agree P1 is true? We move on.
It's analytically true?
Yes.
I agree that it's analytically true, sure. Now what's P2?
Perfect. P2 in the argument for P1 is if our earlier antecedent is true, and that antecedent is talking about P1's antecedent, anyone who is aware of all facts about a case regarding pleasure and suffering, all else equal, will consider it negative or positive consistently. The antecedent for P1 is just if experiences of suffering and pleasure are necessarily valued equally to all with epistemic access to their features. This is once again analytically true.
Okay, so P2 is analytically true. Gotcha.
Yep. P3 is once again analytically true. I take versus level.
Okay, so P1 is analytically true.
P followed from what I take universalizable domain. Yep, P1, P2, and P3 are all analytic, and so C is analytic. And that means
that's what I'm talking about. P1 is analytically true.
Yep.
Okay, so P1's analytically true. Now, P2, what's the argument for P2?
So the argument from P2 is an empirical case based on the existing literature around neurology.
Oh, it's an empirical case.
Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
Yeah, what's the empirical case?
Wait, just make clear, you understand that you're talking about P2, not P2, the arc for P1, right, Goons?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure.
So it's a 5-point empirical case raised readings to about 99% or above. Degree of patienthood tracks with IAT's phi measurement. Higher phi is associated with larger per neuron dendrite counts, higher amounts of sensory associative neurons, and certain summation averages into action potential ratios. That's data point 1. Data point 2 is all mental action occurs due to excitatory minus inhibitory signals overpassing its threshold, i.e. action potential as it's known in neuroscience. 3 is the ACC converts nociception to prefrontal cortex bad feeling. That's pretty obvious. 4 is neurons react to phasic and burst stimulation by acting in line with behaviors which cause them, and they react to continuous frequency stimulation by avoiding their actions.
Yeah, can you just send these in chat real quick too?
5 is isolation amplitudes as well as white noise result in an active experience of pain, causing neurons to use inhibitory signals to prevent further pain. I'll paste those for you, but what I'm going to ask you now is, are you confident enough to say that any of those are false?
Oh, I just didn't listen to you. I was waiting for you to post them in chat.
There they are. Any of those false? You read slower than you listen.
And then where did you get this?
Where did I get what?
This.
All those are from research. I can give you specific ones you point to. I can give you sources on them.
Yeah. Just send me the resources on this real quick while I'm reading through this.
Show the research for the IT was just their on paper. Or you
wait, you're not going to give me. Well, surely you'd want me to know the methodology, right?
Yes, I just told you how you can get them.
Okay, so then do you have the links to these?
I do. I just told you where you can find them though.
Okay, do you want to send me the link then?
I have to spoon feed you? Damn, I got you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, obviously.
Because you're kind of retarded.
You're making empirical claims. I want to see the empirical evidence.
Yeah, the subject you don't know about. Do you even know what the statements say? I'll just give it to you while you're doing that.
I'll read through this and I'll just tell you if it's coherent to me. So the first piece of we can just go through the first piece of evidence. Are you, by the way, you're sending me the link for the first piece of evidence too?
That's right. Talking about.
Awesome, based.
So do you want a white paper or are you cool with like a Scholar PD article? I give you both if you want.
Whatever, whichever way I can get access to this.
All right. Well, this is probably the one that's gonna be a lot more digestible, but you can go down to the scroll to the bottom and you can see direct references to the white papers. There you go. So the question I asked you that you dodged though was, are you confident in saying that any of these are false currently? Are you just agnostic?
Oh, I'm just agnostic on all these right now. And furthermore, I'm agnostic on.
Do you agree they're all independent propositions?
I'm agnostic on whether or not this supports is going to be supporting evidence for your view rather than some other view.
So I asked you
some other hypothesis there.
So I asked you, is it the case you think they're all independent propositions?
Is it the case that I think all these empirical claims are?
Yes.
If these are all individual propositions, if these are all individual,
no, not individual, independent.
Oh, what do you mean by independent there?
The thing independent proposition normally means? Like, do you know what an independent probability is?
Yeah. What independent proposition? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You agree they're all independent propositions?
Yeah.
Okay. So that puts the chance of at least one of these being true at 97%.
Okay. I don't know if I said I'm also going to be unconvinced that this is going to support your hypothesis as opposed to another one. And furthermore, that we'll have equal priors on this.
So I'll ask the same two questions again, effectively. So all 5 of these, is it the case there's any of are you agnostic on all of them being supportive of the proposition?
Oh, well, just to be clear, yeah, I already clarified that I'm agnostic on this. But furthermore, I asked,
no, that was a new question.
I said that I'm unconvinced that this is going to be. Sorry, hold on. So I'm unconvinced this is going to be supporting your hypothesis as opposed to another one, some other account of semantics.
The question I asked you was the new question. I understand you thought
you said you were going to go back to the. Well, just to be clear, you clarified beforehand that you were going to go back to the old.
To answer my question.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Mason, those aren't independent propositions. All of those are very dependent propositions.
Trolling.
Okay, yeah. So I'm asking you, right? You said that it's the case you're unconvinced they are evidence in favor of my hypothesis. Is it the case that you think that is it the case that you think that each of these you're agnostic on it being evidence in favor of my hypothesis?
If each one is going to be?
Yep.
Well, sure, I'd be agnostic to each one of these empirical propositions being in support.
And you agree independent in support?
By independent there, what do you mean again?
Again, you said earlier you knew what it meant.
Yeah, well, I just assumed, I guess I assumed I knew what you meant, but now it's just unclear because it seems like you're...
independent probabilities used?
Independent probability? Yes, okay, and then can we just get clear semantics on that?
You don't know what independent probability is. It means the probability of one does not affect the probability of another one. So here's an example of a dependent probability. The chance of me flipping a coin and seeing it land heads, and the chance of me thinking my mom that saw a coin landed heads. Those are very different probabilities. Independent probabilities, there are things related to one another. There's a scalar factor there. Like obviously, some things are more or less independent than others. I'm just asking, are they broadly independent?
Yeah, presumably they're going to be independent.
Cool. So it's 0.97 times 0.97. And that gets you to what? 95%. So there's a 95% chance that I'm correct on this. Wow, that was easy. Funny part is it's easy because you suck dick at this and you're retarded.
Well, just to be clear, the question was why is it going to be in support of the hypothesis? But I'm looking at shit right now. So just calm down.
Hold on. The answer that I just gave you, right, is that there's currently a 97% chance that at least one of them is in favor of the hypothesis. Any of these would be sufficient.
As opposed to another one, is it going to be under? The question is it going to be underdetermined via another hypothesis? That was the question.
No.
So it's not going to. Nope. So none of this is going to be expected under another hypothesis.
No, it might be expected under things other than IAT, but it's not expected under other things other than P2. Because any of these would be sufficient for proving P2, you fucking retard. You pathetic, low IQ, dumb. Keep your god mouth shut. I genuinely despise you as a human being. Though, like, my respect for you
can I get through reading this without you, like, spurging out? Just calm down.
Oh, I'm trying to read. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm trying to speak.
Obviously,
right
I'm trying to read. You've dropped, like, so much shit right now. I'm reading through it. I'm having a good faith conversation, Sinthe.
Good faith. I hate you.
Clearly you do. I've like eviscerated the last 3 conversations. And the reason you're not allowing me to reach clarity right now is because if you were to allow me to reach clarity right now, I would fucking eviscerate you. So just calm down. Let me read through this shit so I can respond to it. Just calm down. Obviously. Obviously you do. It's clear to everyone. You absolutely despise me.
Yes, I want them all.
Yes, because I bitched you the last 3 conversations that we had.
Fucking shit.
Yes, I understand that you think that. You're really mad right now. You're really emotional.
I am. I hate you. You're right.
Yes, you are going to keep waiting because I have to respond to the retarded shit while I'm reading this. Jesus.
I hate you as a human being.
Are you okay? Do you need to get a drink, Sinthe?
No, I don't like you. I just don't like you. Like, Goons, you're just a piece of shit. Right? You're a dishonest, disingenuous piece of shit.
I agree you think that. Let me read this. Jesus Christ.
You already conceded. There's a 97% chance of my conclusion being true because you conceded they were independent propositions because you're a retard who didn't know what that term meant. Instead of just asking, I don't know initially, You pretended to know what it meant, and you accidentally agreed to it. Then I told you it afterwards, and you were still too fucking slow to realize. Obviously, not fucking independent proposition. Just reject that. Reject their independent proposition.
You're still spraying in the background, Jesus.
I'm waiting.
Calm down. Let me read through this.
You're gonna upload this one too?
Yeah, absolutely. This is another awful look for you. Just let me read through this so I can like respond to you. No, Jesus Christ. Obviously, I'm doing well. Like you're doing all the heavy lifting for me to look retarded.
Do you think you look good in this?
Right now, yes. And the reason I'm looking good right now is just because you're doing everything wrong.
Everyone knows you're a hyper aggressive piece of shit in debates like these. So I can get away with it with you.
Yeah, and I'm not talking to you right now because I'm reading.
It would look unjustified.
You know that any other time that I press you when I'm not reading, you get bitched too. And you know that. That's why you're capitalizing on me reading right now. Just calm down. Let me get through this. I know that you're intimidated by me because you won't allow me to read through this in fucking peace without you spragging. Jesus.
Totally intimidated.
Obviously you are. Do you have like short-term memory loss? You've already gotten eviscerated by me like 3 times in a row.
So true. What are you reading?
The link, retard.
The fucking IIT link?
Obviously.
Can you even read that?
Yeah.
Do you know what any of those words mean? Just when I answered that one. Gonna be another dead air debate from Goons, from stupid Goons. We're all waiting, Goons.
Yeah, no shit, retard. Good job. Do you have any other like Sesame Street observations?
I'm just waiting for a response.
Wait, why do you think there's silence? Yeah, because I'm reading, retard. Just calm down.
Because you
Jesus, you can't answer questions very well, can you?
I just answered the question. Any argument?
Are you okay? Are you gonna let me do this?
No, you've already conceded there's a 97% chance I'm right.
I've conceded any chance of being right.
No, you conceded there's a 97% chance I'm right. Any one of those is sufficient for the hypothesis. This is you about. How long am I gonna have to wait for Goons the mime debater to speak? I'm waiting for an argument.
Until I finish this article real quick. Just calm the fuck down. Jesus Christ. Do you think like if you just slap me with like a fucking brick wall of like text that I'm gonna be able to just get through it immediately? Obviously not, retard. You realize you're like throwing heavily right now, and you don't have to. You don't have to do this to yourself. I'm reading right now, and you're trying to get like land rhetorical jabs, and every single rhetorical jab that you attempted to land, you've lost on. You've missed. You threw your shoulder out. Just calm down. Let me get through this. Stop getting like backshotted rhetorically, and let me respond to this. Jesus Christ.
You're totally doing so well rhetorically.
Obviously, I am.
Yes, so well.
Ironically, retorting it doesn't make it any less true. I'm sorry.
Guys, I just got back. I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up, Blair. Real shit, real shit. I will let the record state, I'm not getting back shots. I'm not receiving the back shots. I would never let that happen. I would never bout him. Yeah, Mason, no worries. You missed a thing. Just been fucking goose thinking fuck friending again.
Do you normally have this many like blunders when you speak? Is it just when we talk?
Goons, I'm waiting for your.
Jesus, you didn't have a witty response for that one, did you?
I'm not trying to have a witty response. I'm waiting for the argument.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, well, actually, not obvious. Every single time that you have attempted in the past hasn't worked. But it seems like you've learned that when you do try to have like these little witty retorts, it doesn't go well for you.
You'll say, "Oh, you stumbled over a word," but you can't even remember anything. You can't remember the beginning of your sentence by the time you get to the end.
Well, moment of silence. I'm heading out to go to bed. Love you guys. I'm gonna watch this recording
Peace,
later.
Mission.
See you,
I'm gonna head
Mission.
out too if Goons can't come up with a fucking argument in the next 5 minutes.
Damn. All right. Peace. Good luck.
I can tell you right now, it's gonna take me more than 5 minutes to get through this entire thing.
This fucking article will take you more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for you, you don't have to read the article. You've already conceded. Like yelling is like argument already. No one reading article ever have you because you've already conceded this 7% When you have 5 propositions, it's fucking 2 to the 5th. So 1 over 32 is going to be the chance of like or 1 minus 1 over 32 is going to be the chance that at least one of them is
Jeez. Do you ever shut your like your jaw's going to go numb? You've talked so much. I think I actually understand why you're doing bad right now. You've talked so fucking much. You've lost so much oxygen through your fucking mouth that you have none going to your brain right now. You can just talk infinitely. And then when I do respond, you have nothing to say. You can't pipe up anymore. You get like rhetorically dominated again. The only time, it's so embarrassing. The only time that you can rhetorically pipe up is when I'm not talking. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Yeah. That when I respond, you can't respond.
When you're not talking. Goons,
are you gonna let me read this? Wait, are you gonna let me read through this?
I've told you over and over again, reading it's irrelevant. You've already conceded.
Oh, reading it. Wait, why is reading it irrelevant?
Like I've said, you've already conceded that 97% chance of me being correct because you called them independent propositions. Once you say there's an independent probability, the math you do is just it's going to be 2 since they're all propositions to the power of 32, or sorry, to the power of 5 since there's 5 propositions there. That gives you 32. As you get 1 over.
Okay. Well, I'm just hold on. Let me just read through this shit again then. Hold on.
Whatever them is, all right? And so you have 31 over 32 is the chance that at least one of them is correct. And given that any of them is sufficient to prove my
wait,
argument,
what's the modality used in this argument?
In which modal term?
The first P1.
P1 of the even initial one, or the P1 of the P1?
That's why I said the first P1 retard. Thinking about memory.
There are 2 P1s. There are like several. That's why.
Luckily, I clarified the initial P1.
There's no modal statement in P1.
I don't know why do you keep doing this to yourself? There's no modal. Hold on.
That's a non-modal invocation. I understand why you were confused, though. Look, it's understandable that if you see the word necessarily, you'll just like click and think it's a modal. It's like, oh, that's like normally a modal.
Wait, necessarily isn't a modal term?
There are plenty of contexts where it's non-modal. This is one of them.
Yeah. So this isn't a modal. Okay, this isn't. Okay, then what's the semantics?
Look, you can actually just remove the term necessarily. The statement means the same.
What's the semantics, retard?
I just told you.
What's the semantics?
I just told you. What did you just say?
I didn't listen because you rambled. What's the semantics? You have a really bad proclivity to ramble. What's the semantics?
The semantics are the exact same meaning if you just drop the term. It's like added bonus.
Okay, drop the term that you use. Okay.
You can just add. If somebody asks you what is the semantics of added and added bonus, it's superfluous. It's a droppable term. You could just like don't have to use it. It's a non-modal invocation necessarily. I understand why you thought it was a middle term. I'm not even gonna blame you for that one. That wasn't that stupid, right? It's a term that's normally kind of like used modally. Here it's not. It's like added bonus. Normally the term added actually means something. In the case of added bonus, it doesn't. I get that, right? But now asking you again.
Okay, now what's okay? Jesus, I've reread this like 3. Okay. Now let's just get clear on the semantics of stance independent here. Jesus Christ, we have to walk through this whole thing.
Not dependent on a stance.
Not dependent. That's really informative. Thank you. Not dependent on a stance.
What do you not know what any of those words mean? Or one of those words that confuses you, like stance or independent? Or
rock, stick, chair. Does that make sense to you?
I'm asking you, are any of the terms...
Does that make sense to you? Obviously, individually... obviously, retard. Individually, words can make sense to you, but when they're strung together and Frankenstein together, like the retard that you do and you put them together, obviously they can sometimes be incoherent.
Sorry, just because I'm trying
a married bachelor. Does that make sense to you? Obviously, retard. You can put words. Sorry, retard. You can put words together. You can string them. You can Frankenstein them together, such that they don't make sense anymore. So when you ask, what's the word that you don't understand? Obviously, that's not going to be. Sorry, retard. Obviously, that's not going to be relevant.
How long do you need to talk for before I can talk?
Now, okay, let's just.
What I'm saying to you is that I'm telling you, my account here, right? I'm telling you that.
Is it going to be dependent counterfactually?
Can I just finish my sentence? You think that is nonsense, right? I'm asking you to repeat this into your concept.
Is it going to be dependent counterfactually?
Answer my question.
So that's try number 1. We're going to do this again. Is it going to be dependent counterfactually?
That's try number 2.
And that's going to be fail number 2 for the retard. Now we're going to give the retard one more chance. Is it going to be dependent counterfactually, or do you not know how to answer because you're a dumb fuck?
Goons. That was try number 3.
All right, now that's going to be the 3rd time running away from the question because Sinthe knows that if she did answer the question, it's going to be one step further into her getting fucking eviscerated.
How about this, Goons? I'll make a deal with you. I'll ask your question first, and then I'll ask my first, and you'll lay mine afterwards.
Answer my question, retard. You don't remember the question?
No, I was trying to make sure that you answered mine.
Do you remember the question or not?
I just answered this question.
Do you remember the question or not?
I just told you.
Do you remember the question or not?
What is the last thing I said when you asked that?
I wasn't listening, retard. Do you know the question or not?
I just told you no. I wasn't listening, retard.
Okay. I just wanted to hammer in on that. So it was dependent counterfactually.
Do you think that looked good for you? What are you doing?
Obviously, I'm hammering down on you not tracking, retard.
You're hammering down on me not tracking.
Wait, the person that's like obsessed with people not tracking, you don't think that's a bad look for you? Obviously, it's going to be. Now, is it going to be dependent counterfactually?
Look, Goons, for every normal person, they hear
Are you
that
gonna
I was asking
you're gonna do the meme again.
You dodged my question.
Is it going to be dependent counterfactually?
Which thing? What's going to be dependent?
Jesus Christ. Do you know where you're at in the conversation? Yeah. But not dependent on stances, retard.
Is it going to be dependent counterfactually? No.
No, it's not going to be dependent counterfactually. Okay. Then let's.
It's independent. What? It's not dependent in any form.
Okay.
Dumb.
So walk through for the fucking retard. Is the independent? Okay. And is the independence counterfactual?
No.
Okay.
That was it?
Okay, and then what's going to be the account of independence?
Look, so when I say it's independent of stances, what I'm saying when I say
what's going to be the account of independence?
I'm telling you. Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm telling you when I say it's independent of stances, what I'm saying is that it's independent of stances because stances don't exist. And so any account, no matter what you want to use, is constituted an insensitive term. If something does not fucking exist, and there are true statements about it, then it's not dependent on that thing.
Okay, now what I want is a sound... Whoa, sorry, retard. Now what I want is a sound argument that establishes the conclusion that stances don't exist.
Because I wanted to make sure that you didn't... Because I know that
now, retard, I want an argument for the proposition that you made that stances don't exist.
You want an argument for the proposition that stances don't exist?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily my argument.
Wait, what? Are you tracking the conversation? This is obviously contingent on the argument. This is a supporting claim for the argument, retard. Are you lost? Are you going to answer my question now?
No, the supporting arguments for P1 is the arg for P1 down below. You asked me for
Jesus, you're actually so fucking lost. Do you have an argument where the conclusion is stances don't exist?
Yes. I don't need to give you that.
Okay, now what is premise 1 of the argument where the conclusion is stances don't exist? Go ahead.
Do you think this is helping you?
Oh, that's fail number 1. Now, what is premise 1 of the argument where the conclusion is stances don't exist?
I thought you said fail number 1.
Oh, that's try number 2. Now, what's premise 1 where the conclusion is stances don't exist?
I don't give you that.
All right, that's 3 fails for the dumb fuck synth that can't track conversations, has been lost numerous different times, gets beat the fuck up, and then tries to do a victory lap. This has absolutely been an abysmal skull fuck for you. Every step of the way, synth, you've lost. Every single step. And it could have been, you could have made it a good look if you just let me read through this shit and waited for me to respond, but you instead decided to try to do rhetorical jabs, and then when I responded, you piped the fuck down because you're a dumb fuck. Now, you don't have an argument for stance-independent reasons that you're willing to present. Yes or no?
I already told you the answer to that.
Cope laugh, retard. Answer my question.
I already did.
Okay.
I know that you're social aware, so that you don't realize this, but the weird
you
thing
can't claim social ineptitude when you've like obviously you can't do this when you've lost all the optics in the conversation. You obviously can't do that.
The thing is, you do it far more than I do. I think that you can like interrupt your way to victory. Like you're just too stupid to come up with arguments.
That is fun.
You're just a low IQ retard. You'll never be good at this. You should give up. You should like pick a different hobby. Like I've seen you try really, really hard to get good at this. You've made no improvement.
Let's just all right. So we're gonna walk through this one more time, okay? And did you have the dependence relation there?
Where? Did you forget?
Synth, wow, come on. It is pathetic. What's the dependence relation, Synth?
So you agree you're pathetic? Good, we can move on then.
I agree that you think that I'm pathetic because you have zero social awareness. What's the dependence relation?
It's funny, I have such little social awareness.
What is the dependence relation?
Tactics. You have to verbatim quote the shit that I say.
You're trying to parody my rhetorical tactics, but the problem is you can't do it.
You just did it again.
You can't employ them properly. You lose every single time you do. Every single time that you've attempted to move at rhetoric, you've lost. The sentence not dependent on stances. Right, what's the dependence relation?
Goons, I know you remember.
I just clarified for you. I just answered your question. You gonna answer mine? How many questions am I gonna have to answer of yours until you answer one of mine? I just answered yours.
Which question did I ask?
I just answered you, retard. I answered with not dependent on stances. Obviously, the one that has the answer not dependent on stances. Are you tracking?
What question was that?
Jesus Christ! Are you gonna answer my question? What's the relation? You can't do the hyperbolic thing when you've already lost. Dude. I just clarified for you.
Mm-hmm. What was the question?
Wait, do you disagree that I just clarified for you? Okay. Do you have anything else, Synth?
Yeah, I just want you to kind of like think about.
You understand that the dependent relation is not, or it's going to be a counterfactual one, right?
Talk. Is it your turn or is my turn? You want to go?
No, it's obviously my turn, retard. I ask you a question.
Ladies first. You pass better than I do. Okay, now it's my turn. Cool. So the argument that you like, none of these arguments even matter because I was giving you a definition, right? I'm giving you an argument in favor of stance not existing. None of the premises of my argument, either of the two that I provided you with, are ones that require stance not to exist. For those true.
It's not counterfactual. So what is the dependence relation?
You don't know what a dependence relation is?
Can you answer my question?
I already have.
Since the dependent relation is not a counterfactual one, what is the relation? If it's not a counterfactual one, retard.
I'll break it down in the simplest possible terms so that I know you're grasping it. Just let me finish my sentence, you'll get it, right? The dependence relation that I'm talking about is just the fact of the matter turns on it. There's no
okay.
The fact that I turn on.
Okay.
But none of those are necessary for my
So when you said it's irrelevant,
the stances,
okay, hold on.
The stances don't exist. You're done?
No, retard, I'm writing down your position, dumb fuck. Jesus. I've literally clarified this 3 times.
So what? You said you're done, but now you're saying
hold on. You actually have dementia. You unironically have dementia.
Because while talking over
you actually need to go. You need to go get a drink.
What should I drink? What would I need to drink to inebriate
Less beer. Less fucking beer than you've had tonight. Oh my god. Or maybe you're just naturally this retarded. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Hold on.
A single person in the VC who thinks I'm drunk right now. I don't know what you think you're gonna get away with by doing this.
I think it would be a better look for you to be drunk. I'll say that. Let me just go through here. Hold on. I'm writing your fucking position now. Just calm down.
You've already agreed that there is a 97% chance that P2 is true. You agree that P1 was analytically
on
true.
What analysis does it require that to be a fact of the matter?
Which thing?
Jesus Christ. You're get lost again,
Bro,
Sinthe?
you keep doing the same thing where you just speak
They're
in
being
weird
stances.
Like, that is a fact
They're
of the
being
matter.
stances. I just clarified. Answer my question now. I just answered your question. Answer mine now.
Give me the whole proposition.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You
no
actually.
ambiguous terms like that.
Do you remember? Do you remember what I just said? Do you remember what I just said?
Yes, I'm asking you to clarify.
Wait, what do you think I just said? I just clarified. That's why you're not tracking again. Second tracking error.
I'm just asking you.
We'll try it one more time. The proposition there is stances.
I know it's the proposition you said. I asked you to integrate.
Do you remember what the question was?
I remember your question, right? You asked
what do you think the question was?
What does that turn on?
What do you think the question was?
I just told
you. You didn't, wait, no, obviously not. You didn't just tell me the question. Do you think you just recounted the question?
What?
Wait, you unironically just thought you recounted the question.
Well, how does?
Okay, say it one more time. I'll type it out. Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna say it again. How did I miss the time?
Oh my god, Sinthe. How do you do this to yourself? Presumably you have some goals to not look retarded in the conversation. Presumably.
No, you're not doing well.
You can't do this armchair psychology thing when you've already lost. You can't do like victory laps when you've already lost. You've already lost 4 times in a row, Sinthe.
Tell me how I lost.
Every step of the way, you can't answer my question. You failed the track numerous different times. Every single time that you piped the fuck up to use Redick, you got eviscerated. That's how you've lost. So anybody that has any norms against any of those things will say that you've lost. Thank you.
Is that it? Is there an argument you made that you think is good? I know you're gonna keep saying you've done really well rhetorically or whatever. Is there an argument you think?
So I have everything. Okay, I have everything written down here. Do you want to answer my question now?
You haven't answered any of mine.
I've answered. Wait, what question did I not answer?
I just asked you what argument.
Oh, I wasn't. I just clarified why I wasn't listening.
I just asked you the question.
Yeah, I just clarified why I wasn't listening, retard.
That's great.
Do you answer my question now? The one that's like relevant to the debate?
Isn't. Told you.
What question wasn't relevant? What question? You don't know? You don't know?
The question that's not relevant to the debate is anything regarding stances not existing, anything regarding dependency relationship.
You can't recount it, can you?
I just told you.
No, you didn't recount the question. You gave me a category of questions.
I recounted the question for you probably 2
No,
minutes
you
ago.
didn't recount the question.
It's in the recording. Watch it back.
No, you obviously didn't. Wait, just to be clear, you thought that you recounted the question rather than giving a category of questions just now?
No, just now I give you a category.
Okay, not just now. That's what I'm referencing, retard. Now, if you're referencing the time that I clarified why I wasn't listening to you, then obviously it's just trivial I didn't listen to you, retard. We'll walk through this one more time, though. Jesus. Okay, let's walk through this. Hold on.
It's actually a waste of time to discuss anything with you. You're too stupid to think about.
It is a waste. Well, if okay, I'll say this.
It is a waste
if you have the goal to not get eviscerated, if you have the goal to not look retarded, if you have the goal to perform well rhetorically, then obviously it's going to be the case that it's not worth your time to talk to me. Obviously, I'll grant that. If you have these goals, X, Y, and Z that I just laid out, then obviously it's not going to be within your best interest to talk to me.
That one, don't you?
Now, on what analysis of dependence is it required that stances actually exist for moral facts to not be stance dependent? The fact of the matter turns on it. Okay, let's write that down.
My question, or question for you. You're on question restriction.
Okay. No, we're going down a line of questions.
Oh.
And do you think that answered my question?
Honestly, I think
by
it's
giving
fine.
an analysis.
Wait.
Do you think that gave an analysis?
Yes.
Fact of the matter turns on it. Okay.
Yes.
Saying fact of the matter. Okay, absolutely. That's giving an analysis. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, and which analysis does it require that fact of the matter to turn on? Which analysis does it require that the fact of the matter turns on it?
Sorry, ask the question again. I think.
Holy shit. Okay, I'll ask the question one more time.
This time you can do it.
I'll say it slow for the dumb fuck. Which analysis does it require that the fact of the matter turns on it?
Oh, the analysis doesn't.
Okay. Ooh, Jesus Christ. You're actually so fucking okay. Yes, you need him. You need Jesus Christ, dog. Oh, literally every single joke that you've used just fell flat. I'm sorry. I had to be the bearer of bad news.
The only person laughing at your jokes is you. The only person laughing at you
I disagree. I disagree with that.
Do you disagree that everyone in the VC is laughing at you?
Okay. And okay. Then the next question would be for the fucking. Oh my god. Holy shit, this is so bad for you. Okay.
Dude, this is your server. Are you allowed to tell people to kill themselves
Sorry, calm down. Yeah, just go ahead and get it out. Go ahead. I know you need it. I know you really need it right now. Okay.
Kill yourself.
Now, can you give the conditions for the dependents?
You did.
You didn't give. Wait, you take the view that you gave necessary and wait. You take the view that you gave necessary and sufficient ones.
Yep, that's it. Just the one.
Okay. Sinthe takes the view that she gave necessary and sufficient. Okay. Awesome.
The necessary and sufficient condition was the fact of the matter turns on it.
Okay. And the fact of the matter turns on it is actually giving an analysis. Okay.
Got an argument?
I'm so glad you came here to talk to me. I'm actually so glad you came here to talk to me. You're a special one, Sinthe. You're special.
You're special ed, dog. Now answer my question.
That was really witty.
Answer my question. You don't have any more questions.
I want to make it clear here that you've been like eroded into being a lolcow. I want to make that like abundantly clear to you.
Dog, I don't think saying lolcow over and over again is going to dig you out of this one.
I've said it 3 times, and the reason I'm saying it 3 times is because it's accurate to the like conversation. It's accurate. It's a good adjective.
I'm still waiting for the argument. Are you reading, buddy? You need help?
No, I'm writing down every retarded thing that you say right now. I'm embarrassing you. I'm like systematically going through and embarrassing you. I'm explaining why you like. I'm explaining to anybody that's coherent, anybody that's good at rhetoric, why you're bad at both of those things. Just by talking to you, just by letting you get talking time, I'm doing that.
Looking for VC chatters. Look, even people who like Goons, right? Anybody who thinks Goons is good at rhetoric?
He's not good at rhetoric, and also you should fucking kill yourself, Goons.
Jesus, two ass mad dumb fucks that I've like eviscerated throughout the course of the conversation.
No, Goons, you just seem like a dishonest.
I just want to make clear that you guys like 1v2'd me, and I still came out prevailing.
It was awful, bro. Goons is good at rhetoric, everybody.
It's just to be clear, it's these two dumb fucks that just to be clear, these aren't like unbiased, impartial people. These are the people that I've like eviscerated throughout the last like 3 hours.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
I'm not claiming to be unbiased. I'm claiming to be annoyed that your entire conversation was rhetoric. You had the chance, like, even if you think you have like clear, obvious objections, you had the entire time to do that. Instead, you spent the entire time doing fucking rhetoric bullshit. Kill yourself.
Wait, hold on.
Also, none of
you don't think that I've engaged substantively here, Cammy?
No, nobody thinks you have.
Okay, so when I've asked you like very clear, succinct, precise questions, because I actually systematically go through and engage in a conscientious and meticulous manner such that I can actually establish why you're a retard. Every single question that you failed to answer in a sufficient manner, obviously, to anybody that has a coherent understanding of these concepts, is understanding why you're a dumb fuck right now. Obviously. And I've 100% won over anybody that has a good grasp of what it is that the conversation is happening here.
What? I would like
absolutely. And then the third, holy shit. Another Sinthe. Yeah, how do you do this, Juniper? There's 3 retards and they're all piping up and they're all part of the same clan. There's 3 retards all as part of the same clan and you're still getting 1v3. You're still getting bodied right now. I just want to make it clear here, Dakota, that the reason these 2 retards are piping up is because calm down. I want to get this out. I know you don't. I know that you know that when you let me get these out, I fucking embarrass you. Calm down. The reason that Juniper and Cammy are piping up is because you're not doing good at it. Calm down. Calm down.
Real shit, Goons. Are you done? I'm asking for an argument.
Are you done? Okay. Now, you're done? Okay. So, I just want to explain this, Dakota. The reason that Juniper and Cammy are piping up right now is because you're doing such a fucking bad job at defending yourself that they feel the need. They have a hypothetical imperative to defend you right now because you're doing so fucking poorly. You failed on so many layers to actually engage in substance, and when you move to rhetoric and you move to meta, you lost on those too. You've gotten fucking systematically eviscerated throughout the course of the conversation such that the 2 fucking ankle biters need to pipe up, and even they get shit on. So we're going to go back to the substance. I know you don't want to, but we're going to go back to the substance, and I'm going to continue embarrassing you in front of everybody else in the conversation that has any coherent grasp of what's going on right now. Calm down, Juniper. You're not in this debate. I'm gonna mute the Juniper retard.
Oh, you're muting people now because you did poorly?
No, actually, go ahead, Juniper. Go ahead.
I was just laughing at you. I was laughing at you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and just to be clear, you still need these people to pipe the fuck up for you because you're doing so poorly. Obviously. Now let's go here.
That's true, Zach. That's true. But Goons is a cock. So I'm allowed to have side hoes. Goons. Waiting for the argument. You said you're going to blow me out substantively. And
give an
it's
argument
really
for what
funny.
proposition?
Every time that Goons says he's going to blow me out substantively,
you're waiting for an argument for what proposition?
I'm waiting for an argument against the conclusion.
You're waiting for an argument where the conclusion. Wait,
retard. My premise too.
You're waiting for an argument where the conclusion that you're drawing is false?
Yes.
Okay, and well, the reason I'm actually going through this and I'm just systematically, again, destroying your argument is just actually establishing why it's unsound because you can't tend the position.
He doesn't have any creativity.
Yeah, obviously, wait. You realize when you say the same retarded shit, I have to say the same dunk over and over again to get it in your head because it takes time for you to process things. By the time it gets from your fucking brain to your mouth, finally you process why you're retarded, and then you can say it after, Dakota. So just calm down. We're gonna get back to the substance. Again, we're gonna go through this.
Go ahead. Waiting for the substance. Oh, okay. Notice that? Silence again.
Sorry, see, Goons, I told you so many times I'm writing. You realize? Wait. I just want to make it clear to everybody in here. The only time that Sinthe goes for the rhetorical jabs because she knows she's not equipped to engage when I'm talking is when I'm writing shit down and when I'm reading. Those are the only two times Sinthe can do it.
Goons,
that's the only time. And you'll notice that Sinthe has. Calm down. You'll notice that Sinthe has barely engaged in substance whatsoever, and the minute amount of substance that Sinthe has engaged in, she's gotten fucking eviscerated. Okay, so let me write this down. You're stumbling. You look. You can't insult me when you fuck up in the middle of a sentence. You can't do it. It falls flat every single time. I promise you. It's not gonna look good. Goons, you're talking about. You were literally in the middle of talking about your rhetoric when you fucked up in the middle of your sentence. Just calm down. Just calm down. You're going back to being calm because you realize when you pipe the fuck up, you get bitched. Now you're being calm again.
I'm talking over
just calm down.
Now. I'm being calm again. You're right, bro. You caught me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm asking you for the substance.
Simmer down.
What you're doing is only rhetoric, and it's not good.
Just calm down.
It's not good.
Just calm down.
Goons.
That's why literally everyone thinks that you're getting eviscerated now. Now, can you actually deliver necessary and sufficient conditions for an X to be dependent on Y?
Gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Sorry, retard. So I'll ask the question again.
You get so much more.
Sorry, retard.
But the moment he's out, you think you're going to dig yourself in holes.
Are you going to step back into the armchair psychology thing again?
I'm waiting, Goons.
Unironically?
Waiting.
Okay, I'll ask you the question about substance. Are you ready?
You're not going to ask me any questions. I asked you a question. Answer it.
Are you ready?
Answer my question.
Are you ready?
Ready for you to answer my question? Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You are ready. So, are you willing to ride out the necessary and sufficient conditions for an X to be dependent on Y or not?
Am I willing to?
Yeah.
No, I've said it to you several times.
Okay.
I'll say it again, though.
Okay. So you're not willing to ride out the necessary and sufficient conditions.
Not even a full sentence, honest. It's sentence fragment.
Okay, awesome.
The truth of the matter turns on it. Everyone else is
not willing to. Oh wait, so the truth of the matter. Okay.
You're an embarrassing subhuman. You are an embarrassing subhuman.
You have to move it. Wait, how many times have you used this line and it fell flat every single time? How many times are you going to do it? How many times are you going to drop the same fucking bar until you realize that you're digging it into the ground for no reason?
I love mocking.
You wait, unironically, Sinthe, I actually did think that you were good before this.
Every 80%.
I unironically thought that Sinthe was good before this. I just want to make that abundantly clear. I 100% thought.
You are not.
Calm down. I 100% thought that you were good before this conversation, and now that I realize that you can't engage in substance, and when you move to rhetoric, you lose on that too. Obviously, I have no respect for you anymore. Obviously not.
I don't think you realize how
you're pushing 30 and you're acting like this.
Sad. I thought you clicked it. I thought it clicked in your head and you realized what was going on.
Okay.
But I think you actually do think you're doing well.
Now hold on. So when you say it turns on it, what do you mean there? So that's dodge number 1. We're going to try this 2 more times for the dumb fuck. When you say that it turns on it, what is meant there?
And that's dodge number 2.
And yeah, thank you. Holy shit, you're scoring on the wrong side of the field. Holy shit. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. 3rd time. When you say that it turns on it, calm down. When you say that it turns on it, what does that mean?
You don't know what it means to turn on it? I can explain it to you, I guess. Look,
yes, I want a semantic analysis. Obviously, it's what I've been asking for the last 3 fucking hours of the conversation. Obviously, I need a semantic analysis for this. Go ahead.
No, it's not what you've been asking. You've been asking what dependence turns on.
Yeah, we're getting well. Just to be clear, I'm talking about the category of semantic analyses. Retard.
Goons.
Yes.
You can talk for 90% of this conversation. I can talk for 10% of it, and you'll still.
Yes, and you still look retarded. Even though you're speaking minimally, that small amount of time that you do talk, you're saying retarded shit. Now answer my question, retard.
That's it. No, answer mine. Mine was out first.
Wait, so you just engaged all the way up until that point, and then you jump off the cliff. You sped past fucking retardville, and you've flown off the cliff. This is embarrassing.
Look,
I don't know how you keep doing this.
I think that there's something that we can do.
I think you're taking too much time. You're not sharp right now. Did you not get enough sleep? What am I doing? I'm bitching you right now. That's what I'm doing. It is pathetic. You're pathetic. You're a retard. Yes, I agree. It obviously makes me look good. That's why everyone thinks I'm doing well right now, other than your two dick riders. Literally, everyone thinks I'm doing well, other than you two dick. Absolutely. And anyone that watches this and sees how you're not engaging in a clear, succinct, linear manner will obviously think you're fucking petrified of me. One, and two, you know that you've been outmatched in this conversation.
I think there's an old tactic I used to use the anime people. Now that you like just mimic the rhetorical
Jesus,
style,
oh my, you're gonna go back to the same old meme. Holy shit.
I know, I clicked for me. I understand what I can do here. So instead of talking about your arguments, I'll just ignore the shit you said.
Yes, you can. You can. Wait, I agree that you can do that, and you have done that throughout the entire course of the conversation. Obviously, you can ignore everything I'm saying. Obviously, you can't engage in a linear manner.
Did I just
obviously.
like boost myself or something? I think that might help.
Go ahead, retard.
He usually doesn't hear.
Go ahead, retard.
Goons, I want you to understand this though. Like genuinely, I want you to understand this topic because I know you know nothing.
You're gonna do
about it.
it's gonna be another rhetorical jab that falls back. Well, please, just answer my question now.
I know that you're. How about this, Goons? I'm gonna throw you a bone. You can pick the question.
You don't need to throw me a bone. Wait, hold on. I promise you, you don't need to throw me a bone. I promise you. No
rhetoric.
I want to make it clear to everybody here. Wait, I want to make it abundantly clear here. I am not paying Sinthe to look this bad in the conversation. I'm not. She's doing it for absolute free, doing it on her own accord. She's doing this absolutely for free. I want to make that abundantly clear to everybody in here. Now, it is embarrassing for you. I agree. Now, Sinthe, are you going to answer my question and engage in a linear manner, or are you going to run away? Which one is it going to be?
I just told you I'd answer.
Now you're doing the cope laugh meme. Oh my god.
Did you hear
Holy shit. Oh my god. Obviously not. I just steamrolled you.
Then I'll go back to mine.
No, wait, you'll answer 5 of my questions?
That's what I said, wasn't it?
And you'll answer them sufficiently.
Of course, I answer all questions.
Okay, you'll answer them sufficiently. Under my view, right? Okay, so I see the tactic there. What Sinthe was going to do... Hold on, retard, hold on. What Sinthe was going to do was give obviously insufficient answers to each question and then start to ramble on about her questions. No, I'm not going to let you do that, Sinthe. I want you to answer them sufficiently under my view. I want to engage in a linear fashion under my view. Not what you take to be linear, not what you take to be rhetorical, not what you take to be anything in favor of you whatsoever. I'm sorry, Sinthe, I can't do that. Okay, so Sinthe, I just need to clarify here. Will you answer them to a sufficient degree for me?
That was question 1.
Yeah, obviously, and I want to hammer down on the point. That's me hammering down. I know holy shit, it takes Sinthe so fucking long. I'll tell you what I thought, Sinthe, before I came here. I thought at long last, I get fucking rhetorically dominated. I get fucking bodied on substance.
I'm waiting.
And you do this, and you come here with this. You came here with this. You're obviously so unequipped to have this conversation, Sinthe.
That's it?
Like, you're fucking centuries behind on the literature here. You can't even answer this basic question. You can't do it. And then you claim that you'll do it, but not answer in a sufficient manner. You're a slimy weasel. You're actually a slimy weasel. You're actually running away from the question, Sinthe. Actually, I can't even say that you're running away from the question. That assumes that you have a fucking spine. You're like this fucking gelatinous math, just rolling the fuck away. Holy shit. And all you can do is hammer down on this, an irrelevant question. Well, you won't answer mine because you can't engage on the rhetoric. You can't engage on the substance. All you can do is posture like you're asking me a relevant question and then just repeat it because you literally can't engage in any other fashion. Holy shit. Oh my god. Now, what is meant by turns on it? Go ahead.
What is meant by turns on it? Let me write this down so you know what questions you've asked.
Yeah, I want the necessary and sufficient conditions.
What does turns on it means? So turns on it, right? That phrase means that the truth of the matter requires this other fact to be true.
Truth of the matter requires this other fact to be true. Okay. And that's going to be the necessary and sufficient conditions?
Yep, that's question 3. You got 2 more.
Okay. And then, you said you weren't using a modal term earlier. So let's just get clear here. What do you mean by require?
By require, I just...
Is that... Wait, let's just get clear. Is that going to be modal or non-modal?
And that was question 5. Non-modal.
Okay, it's non-modal. Okay, and let's just get clear on the analysis here. What do you mean by require? Wait, obviously we're going down a... Wait, retard. We're obviously going down a line of questioning here. We're getting clear on something. Now, just because you have a very bad ability at articulating what you mean doesn't mean that I'm not going to ask you more questions, Sinthe. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not how this is going to go. That's not how this is going to roll for you. So let's just get clear here. Let's just get clear. It's a non-modal sense of... Wait, what's happening right now? What's happening right now? What's going on? Okay.
You're torturing us.
What's happening? Okay. Is the spurg over? Okay, awesome. The spurg's over. Okay. Now, what is meant by require there?
I require this question. I'll give it to go. If you want the question, I was fair. You submit a question, I'll give you it.
You obviously didn't. No, literally everyone knows that you didn't, but go ahead.
I just did it again. It entails it.
Oh, it entails it. Okay, awesome. And is that going to be... And wait, is it going to be logically entailed?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be logically entailed. Awesome. Okay, let's write this down, Sinthe. It's going to be logically entailed. Okay. Oh my god. And it's not modal?
Correct.
It's logically entailed, but it's not modal.
Correct.
Okay, it's logically entailed, but it's not modal. Awesome. Okay.
Do you think that's strange or something?
Sorry, just calm down there.
Oh, you don't want to answer that. Go ahead. It's your question turns.
Do you take the view that you're being laughed at right now?
By who?
It's a yes or no, by the way.
Just depends on who it is. If you're asking you in particular...
No. Exclude me. Sorry. Exclude me. Do you take the view that you're being laughed at right now?
No.
Okay.
That's it? I thought you get the substance, and your questions are...
I think that we've gotten sufficiently to substance here, Sinthe.
Do you think that logical entailment...
What do you think logical entailment means?
Logical entailment means that one thing being true necessitates another one being true under logical modality.
Okay, so it's necessitated through logical modality.
It doesn't mean it's a modal term. You think it is, doesn't it?
Okay.
This is so
necessitated
sad.
through logical modality.
This is
okay.
hilarious. You think logical entailment is actually a modal term?
And okay, it's necessitated under a logical modality, and it's not modal. Okay.
Yes. Something
Okay.
can be
Awesome.
necessitated, not modal. Here's an example. Right? So, gravity exists. It's said by the physics. Does it mean gravity exists is modal? Get it? What do you think modal means?
Sorry, hold on. Say that again?
What do you think modal means?
Sorry, say that again, please.
What do you think modal means?
No, I'm obviously talking about the example you gave.
Oh, I'm asking you, what does modal mean?
Oh, no, the example.
You're retarded. So look, Goons,
sorry, wait. I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to run away from this. Please. You're being laughed at. Wait, I just want to make clear. You're being laughed at right now by like a lot of you. Okay, hold on. And not including me. We're excluding me right now. Okay.
Everybody,
just calm down. I know. Just calm down. Okay. So it's under the logical modality. Or yeah, it's logical. It necessitates, but it's not modal. Okay. Now, what do you mean by modal?
Oh, you're asking me because you didn't know what the answer was. So by modal, right, what I mean is that it hinges on some fact about necessity or possibility. It doesn't hinge on that fact. Necessity and possibility hinge on that fact. It's the inverse. Any other jokes you want to say? Oh,
okay.
Like you think you know about this topic.
Sorry, calm down. I'm writing this down.
Now I'm asking you, what do you think modal means? What do you think modal means? No answer, Goons? You don't know? You want to look it up?
Look up what modal means? Just calm down.
Can you answer the question? What does modal mean? Do we have to wait for you to Google it
first? Sorry, well, I'm not going to answer your question. We're going to line of question right now. Come on.
How many questions did
Pick a number of how many times you like answer a question insufficiently, or that there's like going to be a new one that pops up. Well, that's going to be a little bit hard to predict, but just calm down.
Goons, you are asking yes or no questions, and I'm giving you yeses and nos to those yes or no questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the case of the definitional questions, I'm just breaking down the terms for you. If you think that it's the case that logical entailment is modal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you take the view
Logic
that
is
A
an element
depends
of
on B?
defining modality.
Oh. Okay. Do you take the view that A depends on B is equal to B logically necessitates A?
A depends on B means that B logically necessitates A?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay, awesome. Let's write that down.
That's why I'm using it. I understand there are other senses of the term depends on, right? And there are like other ways to use. Just I'm using it here though. This is the substance. You notice how none of this touches my argument at all?
You notice how, wait, do you unironically think you're not getting embarrassed right now?
I 100% don't think you're doing well in this.
Okay. And just to be clear, you were scrutinizing me for being socially inept earlier, right?
Do you want to say you think like you up?
Well, no, it's just like a sort of broad category.
Just name one person. Give an example. You have it's your server, a VC full of people. You can even appeal to Zizo.
Shh, just calm down.
None. You know you're losing. Waiting for the argument, Goons. You're freezing up again. Ooh. Silent Goons. He's getting trial.
Also, I just want to point out to Goons, the poll that includes your own people has voted that you don't have any substance.
Wait, what are you? What?
7 to 0, dog. 7 to fucking 0. You pathetic.
Wait, about having substance?
We're a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, you got one vote now.
Who
You got
has
one
more-
vote. You got one note.
Yeah,
you got one vote now.
Goons. It is Goons. Goons' vote. Once Goons realize the poll exists.
Wait. I actually might even agree that there's people. We'll just come down. Just come down. I might even agree that people don't think that. But if I have no substance, Sinthe, where do you think that you've arrived in this conversation? If you've been fucking eviscerated by me on substance.
Inside your asshole. I've arrived deep inside your asshole.
Okay. I actually think that I genuinely believe that you think that you're doing well right now. I do. I grant that. I grant that, Sinthe.
The substance. I'm not sure what they think about the rhetoric, right? Because I'm not using any. I'm just relaxing. There's like literally.
You wait. Oh no! Now you're gonna try to cope and say you weren't using rhetoric earlier. Okay.
Oh, I'm winning rhetorically while not using rhetoric. You just look that bad. I'm not gonna tell you who sent it, but one of your friends, or I'm not even sure if he's one of your friends. I think he's one of my friends. I kind of fuck with this guy. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna appeal to him. Somebody just sent me a message who I wasn't talking to. I'm not you.
Sorry, what you said? Somebody sent you a message. What? Hold on, just give me.
Chicken butt. Got his ass. That's rhetoric. You can steal that one, by the way. It's another Sinthe rhetoric tactic you can copy verbatim. He's all of our friends. More people. Oh my God, guys.
Wait, Ghost like hates me. What do you mean?
Is an absolute punching bag, low mic freak. Tell him I said that to him.
He said low mic. Wait, do you not understand the meme there? He's a loud mic
freak because you're like, yeah, your volume's quiet, yeah. He's a loud mic. I get it. I think
you realize he's a loud micer that's like,
yeah, he's fun.
Okay, you don't get the meme. Okay. Jesus, you were just talking about being socially inept.
Okay, I'm waiting for any more questions you have from me again.
Oh yeah, hold on. We're walking. Okay.
Has clip for you developed the upload? Do you think will upload?
Wait, hold on. I can guarantee you this is going to be uploaded. 100%.
Nice. I'm glad.
Okay. So I have to ask if you believe in the conjunction of these sort of propositions here. Let me.
Damn, now that's a modal claim.
Let's just go through here.
See, a hint.
Do you agree? So hold on, we're gonna hold on. Just back down. Do you agree that A depends on B?
Modes that can be used.
We'll just come down.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you agree? Sorry. Do you agree that A depends on B is equal to B logically necessitates A? You agree with that, right?
Under my account of that term, yeah. Under not
okay, and you agree modal. That's all I'm using. Okay, and you agree modal is going to be dealing with necessity or possibility, and that a dependent or a dependence on B is equal to. Sorry, Colin. And A depending on B is going to be equal to. Sorry, hold on.
I wanted to help clarify something for you really fast.
Hold on. Can I get through this? Hold on. I've written a lot. Hold on. Just let me get through this comment.
You're stumbling over your words, Goons. Just
hold on.
I stumbled the same word over and over and over again. I have like Obama style stumbles where I'm like, oh, let me be clear. Oh, that kind of shit. They're kind of cool and like people like them. Your stumbles, it just looks weird because you like makes fun of people for stumbling so much. Like any minor stumble, you try to like hop on it. You have to wait until somebody really, really fucks up to make fun of it. That's a rhetoric tip.
I did. Hold on. I wrote it wrong, retard. Just calm down. Jesus.
Oh, you wrote it wrong because you typed like a retard?
Yes, I wrote it wrong. Just calm down.
Let's go. Yeah, he admitted he's retarded and went silent. Upload that part. Don't clip that out. I feel like the only way you could possibly upload this... No, honestly, you couldn't even do that, could you? I was thinking maybe the only way you could upload this is clip out literally every single thing I say and just upload yourself speaking, but that looks so much worse. You just look fucking terrible when you speak. Because I just genuinely... You're only on the substance
another voice crack, by the way.
Rhetoric. Oh, no,
maybe he could make an introduction to the video.
Just, like, Juniper, just calm down with the ankle biting.
Yo,
I'm writing this.
Whose is this? Who's Juniper, bruh? Who the fuck?
Juniper's like a deluge lunatic.
So Goons is never gonna marry you. He'll never love you real.
Yes, he will, bruh. We already have like. We're already engaged. You know that, right?
You can literally just ask every single person that tries to be friends with Goons. They always regret it.
Goons is currently desperately choking on my cock right now, which means I'm cucking you.
Okay.
How does that feel?
All right. So you agree that A depends on B is going to be equal to B logically necessary, right? You agree with that?
No. I want to clarify something because you're losing a little bit of the nuance, right? Maybe you have the core meaning there, but I want to make sure that you understand this. I'm not saying it has to be exclusively necessitating. Just like it's within the set of propositions which necessitate it. So if it's the case that proposition was negated, it would entail the opposite.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
True is part of what's necessary in order for that to be the case. I mean logical there, so you know it's a non-modal indication.
Okay, and then you also agree that modal is dealing with necessity or possibility, in the logical sense.
Necessity or possibility, not the logical sense. No, there are plenty of things that are non-logical indications.
Well, obviously, that's why I referenced the logical sense. Obviously, the example was logical.
I'm just telling you that's not what modal means.
Wait, like... Huh?
No, I agree with that. It's a ha moment.
Like, I don't know, like necessity in like modal terms doesn't really mean the same as like necessarily this follows in like logical sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Goons.
Wait, obviously, I'm not saying it's only indexed to logical. I'm obviously talking about the example of logical. I use an example. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Goons is trying his best. Give the guy a break. He's got 3 brain cells he's thinking with. I think that his like 40 IQ is gonna be able to get him through this one though. Go ahead, Goons. Waiting for the substance. You're gonna eviscerate me on it. There goes Frozen Goon. Too stupid to think. You know, I don't think there's anything morally wrong with being dumb, but I do think there's something wrong with being a morally dumb, smug, condescending piece of shit. If you're just aware of fucking stupid, you'd be so much fun to hear.
Well done, lads.
By the way, Goons, like you're fucking silent and railed. Yeah, and I guess like I just want to let you know, if you apologize to Noah for being a piece of shit to him, I'll stop hating you. Then I'll be nice to you and I'll teach you more rhetoric. You'll be better at it. There are better people in Discord you can learn philosophy from, like fucking Evan knows more about philosophy than I do. Fucking Fleur probably knows more about philosophy.
Okay, Jesus, I have it written formally here. Oh my god, just calm down. Okay, you agree that the statement A depends on B is equal to B logically necessitates A, right? It's a yes or a no.
Well, I'm telling you earlier,
It's a yes or a no. On some accounts, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends on what you mean by there.
Okay, that's fine. Yes. The answer is yes. And you also agree that modal is dealing with necessity or possibility, yes?
Is dealing with necessity or possibility in the sense of change in mode, yeah.
Okay, so yes. And then A depends on B is equal to being non-modal, right?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. That's all I needed.
Do you think that does well for you? That's just you not trying.
Absolutely.
What was even the point?
And then you did it. I just want to be clear here. You did the meme again, where every single time that I'm reading and writing, you have to hit you try to like land every single rhetorical jab when I'm reading through it and typing, because that's the only time that you can do that, Synth. That's literally the only, and you know, you've learned that. It's so embarrassing that this behavior's already been called. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to call out the exact same behavior for you to stop doing it and to realize that you're retarded. Jesus Christ.
But
okay.
Behavior's not making me look bad. It's making you look bad. Why would I change?
Obviously is.
I don't like you as a person. I think you're a terrible piece of shit.
Yes, wait, we've already been over why you don't like me.
Yeah, it's because you have no principles. You have no morals. That's like a real. Plenty of real think you're real. Amazing, great example. This real guy. You're not a good person. You're a piece of shit.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Anti-realist. I think like Lance Bush. I don't even like dislike the guy that much. I think he's like mostly a decent guy. He's got like kind of like got some crazy views here and there, but I think he's like an okay dude. Do I have anything else, bro? I'm done. I raped you.
Okay. I just want you to reflect on what I put in side chat.
Yeah, look, the issue with posting that in side chat and thinking you've done something is each and every single time I clarified for you what you were going on with. And I is not location, right? And to there, valid there's a possibility in a mode sense, which means there's a change in mode. Or there can be a change in mode, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I understand that's kind of weird. When I'm saying possibility necessity. Sorry, say again. Claire?
So like I would just take like modal operators just to be quantifiers.
Like just be like universal and extensional quantifiers over like some kind of universal set. That's I guess the universal set there's just going to be indexed to like whatever the scope is.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the same way as like I guess like something extensional like what you're talking about in your argument.
What I'm talking about is what I'm talking about is is still just like the unit. When I say change in mode,
Jesus. Okay, just reflect on the Synth, okay?
Dude,
that's all I want you to do.
But like I don't understand like the point of this. Like this just seems like a really pedantic. It doesn't really seem related to your argument.
Me or Goons?
Goons. I don't. Why is this like being brought up?
Well, I think the reason it's being brought up is because Goons kind of feels like he's in the back. He's trying his best to get some catch of it. Over again. I'm not using the term in the way that you are, Goons. Right? I'm referring to when there is a change in mode, right? And by change in mode, I mean a change in the what is included in the universal set that we're talking about. When I'm talking about logical, it's the universal set, so to speak, right? Do you understand what I mean by that, Goons? That was kind of weirdly phrased, so I understand if you don't. I can even blame you for that.
I'm not listening right now. Do you want to say what you're saying again?
Are you reading something?
No, I was writing something, but go ahead.
Oh, wedding.
What's the relevance?
I'm just...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so look, my argument from earlier. Now that you understand the way I'm using terms, is there any premise you think is false? My original argument.
In the original argument.
Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Jesus. Frozen Goon.
Like, why didn't like Goons just like challenge you on like the IAT stuff? Like,
well, I think it's because Goons just like, unironically, I don't think he's ever heard of IAT before this, or before our last conversation. I think it was the first time we heard about it. I think there are attack lines on IAT. Usually, they're based on intuitions that I think are dissolvable. So like some of them will be like, well, look, here are all of these things that we don't think are conscious that IAT would expect are conscious. But I don't think that our intuition of what is conscious is reliable there. I don't see any reason to attack them to their back at all. I think what our true track about what is conscious will just be the thing we have first experienced. So just ourselves. And so the best thing we can do is we can reason from existing literature on human brains about people's internal states, and communicating with those individuals. So like for example, we see that like cerebellum damage is something that does not impact people's it doesn't impact people's qualia, so to speak, in that like direct kind of sense. It doesn't impact their ability to have like a conscious decisions. But if you damage some part, like if you damage portions of their perilium, or their cerebral cortex, then or the perilium or cerebral cortex, what's happening is you actually attack their conscious experiences, especially when you do it in the most integrated parts, like the prefrontal cortex. Those are the areas that I think are like far stronger evidence in favor of like IAT than the evidence against it end up being. This is why I'm not like an IAT fan.
yeah,
but like I could get somebody finding it like implausible. It's kind of unintuitive on first glance.
yeah, like I'm like, I prefer. I mean, I don't really have like a specific neuroscience theory I support to explain consciousness. I think currently I prefer like global workspace theory, but I think all global workspace theory would say it was just like any notion of consciousnness has to be like dual to our like notions of like how cognition arises. And, like I feel like that just seems kind of obvious though. So, like I mean like I need to probably read more on IAT. I'm skeptical on like the falsifiability of some like important IAT claims and probably some of the like notions of qualia that may be implied. Like but like I've only like seen like one or two lectures on it. So yeah.
The lectures,
Yeah, the Coke's lectures.
those are fucking bangers. Yeah, I guess I'm curious. I'm not super familiar with global works theory. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I've heard of it in passing, but I haven't actually researched it. But I'm also kind of curious about the falsifiability issues. Is there any specific one that you've got in mind when you say that, or is there like it's more like a broad?
Just mainly referring to like again, this is like something I haven't, but I'm mainly referring to like general academics and scholars like in neuroscience bringing up issues with falsifiability. And again, that's why it's like more of an intuition for me because I put like pretty strong trust in like academic credibility, right? So if there's like some significant amounts of neuroscientists who are coming in and expressing concerns about IAT's falsifiability, I'm going to kind of have credence towards that it's going to have issues with falsifiability, right? I think that specific issues are going to be like, one, some of like the essential aspects of consciousness that IAT is going to like propose. I think that's generally what they point to. I don't remember that well, right? So like again, this is probably something I would probably need to brush up on. I haven't covered this in since like a year.
I think one of the reasons why there might be this like I think one of the reasons why there might be like an overrepresented view in the view within neurology against IAT's falsifiability is mainly because of the fact that a lot of neurologists are just not super deep into the philosophy stuff whatsoever. But I think what's probably more important is just that the view is like kind of wildly unintuitive. Like on face value, it's just really, really unintuitive. So people are, I think, kind of primed against the view. And so they have they're gonna have a bias thing. Just like just think that I think that I think are clearly falsifiable. So like one is the less integrated parts of the human brain would have upon damage less of an impact on your qualia, right? A less of an impact on your mental state. That's one prediction IIT makes. And in that case, like that's that's something that's very testable, right?
Yeah, but if anything, that would just prove like certain parts of IIT are true. You know, like it wouldn't prove like some of the more core assumptions, right? Like I think that would be like equally. I think that would be like equally predictive for like workspace theory or something, right? Or like attention.
I'm not even sure. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Or like the attention, like receptor theory.
I'm actually not even sure that global. Oh fuck! I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. My bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm fine.
I was just gonna say that I don't think that I'm not even actually sure that global workspace theory isn't compatible with IIT.
No,
I don't know about is maybe that.
I don't think it's incompatible like either. But I think like we need to try to like one of my big emphases I like put on when doing like metaphysics or field of mind or anything is like trying to, you know, distinguish the theory enough, right, from other theories. And if IIT, isn't really distinguishing itself from other theories, then I might be like skeptical of it as like a thesis. It seems like we're not skeptical of it. I might like unsure of it might be like the better term. Like I'm unsure of it as like a distinct thesis.
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry, I keep doing it. Every
No.
single time there's like an R, I'm like in debate mode, so I'm like gonna jump. I was gonna say that I think I'm more issue theories than it is IIT because the fact IIT has like I think IIT gains a lot on parsimony. I think that other theories are I think other theories that might be compatible with IIT probably have less predictions they make. Like I know those predictions are all compatible with global work theory, but I'm not sure if any of them are actually predicted on it, right? Like obviously they can be like accommodated, but it's not clear to me that there would be like a higher chance of like things like the cerebellum not having that impact on global work theory.
I've heard this like recently, but doesn't IIT predict like a internalist theory of like mental content, or at least like a internalist theory about semantic content?
It would. Yeah, it would.
Oh well, then that's going to be like a strong thing for me to be against, like IIT. Right?
Okay,
that's
that's
interesting. It might be, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What's? I was just gonna ask like, what's your what reason you have for having an issue with that in particular?
With internalism, it's gonna be so like it's gonna depend on how you like hash out your internalist theory. Like I think like Fodor like I think like ways of cashing out internalist theories actually kind of result in like certain like natural or externalist theories. Like I think if you want to cash out your internalist theory in terms of like let's say like inferentialism, like you want to well, we know what other people mean by X, right? In virtue of there being some like holistic inferential like relations or whatever. Like that's kind of like the that's called like the B side approach to intention based semantics. If that's like the type of view that you want to go for, it seems like it would be just better to just adopt like an inferentialist view, right? Like or like a conceptual role semantics view. But the issue with that is that conceptual role semantics has like a pretty while it does like defend some like theories on other things like epistemology and methodological solipsism and stuff. It doesn't really defend really hard like an internalist based theory of like mental contents because it's like super functionalist, right? And you need to describe like functional roles in terms of like outward behaviors or like environmental behavior, all that. So like I like another kind of like an example Brandon likes to give is like how we can use like inferentialism, or so we can use conceptual semantics to like understand like issues with reliabilism in his view, right? So he's going to say like reliabilism has like an unclear role of belief, and then I would probably have to go through like the parrot example. This is a little complicated. That's actually getting kind of sidetracked. Anyway, but like if that's the case, if you're going like that type of theory of of intention-based semantics, which I'm just gonna go with like one theory of internalism, which is intention-based semantics, and that's gonna be the B. And then when on the B side, well then you're gonna be inclined to accept some type of minimal external, like super minimal externalist thesis. If you're going like with the A side theory, however, then you are like vulnerable to a bunch of other like attacks to internalism. So like the A side theory is that like there's like this kind of syntactic trail on like utterances, and like that's what allows us to tell like what people mean when they say like this term as opposed to another term. And then you can just bring up like the monkey objection, if you know about that. Like,
what's the objection?
So how much are you familiar with like intention-based semantics?
I'm not super familiar with it. I'm not like super delved into it.
Okay, so like the monkey objection, I'll like kind of explain it. Grice has a response to it, but like let's say like there's a man, right, and the man gets called for the Selective Service Act, and we'll call him Stephen. And Stephen gets called for the Selective Service Act, and they want to test if he's like an idiot or not, right? And Stephen, he's really smart. He has a way to figure out to like get away and to prove he's not an idiot, right? And the way he does that is he just makes a bunch of monkey noises, right? So Stephen just makes he goes oh, wah, 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 like all that, and then they like pass him through because they think he's like stupid, but he clearly Stephen kind of clearly intends to communicate something by this, and there is some type of like syntactical relationship in his like gibberish that you can kind of infer, but like the officers in this thought experiment infer that it's meaningless, right? So that's the monkey objection. Another objection is the implausible starting point. Like it seems in general to like that actually I have a whole series of like papers of like the 3 problems of this, but
before we move on, can I just I'm trying to figure this out. So that's the monkey objection to intentionalism?
to intentional based semantics. Intention-based semantics. It's Grice's theory. Specifically A side, intentional based semantics.
So I don't know what Bryce's response is.
Grice's response is that the guy is actually saying that you're the idiot, that you're an idiot or something. So is that like Grice's response is that, yeah, he says like, so like when the guy says like makes all the monkey noises, he's actually just telling the other guy, like, oh yeah, you're like passing me through or something. And I'm like, I think that's like a really bad response. Like,
I agree. That doesn't sound like a really good response. I mean, like intuitively, what it seems like is that what I'm trying to figure out is I feel like I'm gonna misdirect the hypothetical or something, because the thing that pops to my mind first is just like it seems like the meaning of the statement is that the guy speaking is stupid. It seems like he's lying, right? That's what it seems like is happening there.
But the issue is that the guy intends to express like some type of meaning, and but the issue is that the officer in this scenario just and the officer would be able to kind of like, if like this like syntactical theory that for intention based semantics were correct, right, the officer would just be able to tell like whether or not he was like capable of expressing, right?
That's the part I'm it's not clicking for me. Why would that be the case?
Oh, why would that be the case? So like so keep it like that. Like keep in mind like this. Like when we hold like an A theory, right? What are we committing ourselves? Like what are some questions we want to ask when we hold like an intention based like? Well, one question we're going to ask is like, what type of cognitive processes like produce these intentions, right? So that's one question. Another question is going to be like whether or not we're going to be committing to like meaning holism or not. That's another. And the third question is going to be exactly, what it means to like kind of refer to something in that sense. I guess in like all these, in this case, like the A theory, Actually, I can just read to you. Why am I even doing this? I can just read to you the A theory. Like, wait, why am I even doing this?
No, I'm super down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pull up the A theory of intention-based semantics. I have the Oxford Handbook on like my shelf. For me, so easy to find. So I will label the theory which recognizes the preconditional role for the speaker's intentions in A-style intention-based. 4.1 count in section 12, 1.13. A-style. The intention-based semantic story reel really starts with the work of Paul Grice and a number of similar papers. A key notion of Grice's account is that of the utterance's meaning is the idea that by uttering some linguistic term X, a speaker U meant that P. And then this is called the UM principle. And then utterance U, the person, the speaker, the utterer means that P by X, if and only if for some audience A, U intends that by uttering X, U induces some belief, U believes that P and A should recognize the first premise, and A's recognition of the first premise should be reason for A's forming the belief that U believes that X, right, or something like that. U believes the sentence, right? So that's his like approach, and you can see how this would apply for the monkey example, right? Because you're trying to trick the officer in this case. But okay.
And for A theory, the monkey example, I'm unless I'm missing something, the monkey example doesn't apply to A.
Well, no, the monkey example, the monkey example applies to A.
Oh, it does? I thought it applies to B. Maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm not grasping that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, yeah, it applies to Grice's example. The B theory would just be like, oh, we know like what speaker X the speaker means by to intend to communicate, just in virtue of just some broader like some broader inference on like a convention or whatever. Yeah, so like that's the type of theory. So that's like one kind of objection. I guess like if we can go like there is like the like a lecture on this too. So like I could probably send you resources on it if you need to.
I would really love to watch the lecture on that. That would be like super fucking digestible.
Yeah. Grice has like plenty of responses. Now like the broader intuition against, because I covered IBS because it's the most like common kind of one you'll come across on Discord. It's not the most common internalist theory in general. The most common internalist theory I generally see is going to be like a Chalmers-Arian theory or some type of Fodor theory, where your mind itself is just a schema of like mental representations, and basically we can admit some types of external like semantic content, but any like broader notions of semantic any like more narrow notions of semantic content like have to refer back to mental representations in this view. And what they'll give is like they'll bring up how certain distal causes, if we were to expect some like extreme semantic externalist thesis, some distal causes would like be influencing meaning, and that just seems intuitively false, right? So like that's usually what they bring up. But like I guess that's called moderate internalism, and the most extreme one is Fodor, and Fodor holds that all meaning is kind of in the head in some sense. Now, my general intuition against internalism is that, like, in general, as like any type of theory of semantics or semantic content, is that like it doesn't seem to have like any proper normativity. Like, it doesn't seem to give me the semantic normativity I need. And since language relies on semantic normativity, right? I just don't see the proper stage being set in internalist theories to actually get me that like normative aspect of language, right?
Couldn't you see just inducting based on like the evidence of people's intent? Like you're just inducting towards their intent. Why would there be an issue with the norms stuff?
Oh, with the norms? Okay, so like do you know about like the private language argument and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know about the Kripkean version?
The Kripkean version of the I'm not sure what the difference is. I know.
So like the Kripkean one. So the difference is there's 3 kind of interpretations. There's the memory interpretation, the stage setting one, and the Kripkean one. And the Kripkean one would just hold that would just be the rule following one. It'd just be imagine you have the 2 students, and you have the 2 students, and one student has the plus rule. You know that one?
The plus student has the what?
The plus quest thing, or
no,
do I need to go? Okay, so imagine you have the plus roll, right? And this is some rule I have in my head. And the plus rule is just the addition rule. That's it. Just addition. 1 + 1 = 2. That's addition.
Okay.
And then we have the quest roll. And the quest room is addition up to a certain number, and then after that number it's 0. Now we have 2 kids and we want to test them out, right? So when I test out the first kid, we want to test. Sorry. The first kid that we want to test has the plus roll, right? And the second kid we want to test has the quest roll, and we test them, and both kids pass, right? Because we only tested up to the numbers up to 20. But then the first kid tells the teacher, he says, "Hey, this other kid's not using the plus roll; he's actually using the quest roll." And the teacher's like, "What the fuck?" So what the teacher does is he tests up to the numbers 50, right? The 50 number, and the kid doesn't pass, right? Because he didn't have to memorize all the numbers up to 50. He didn't memorize all the numbers up to 50. So what the kid does is he just raises his number to 51. Teacher again, right? It passes, etc. Right? So the issue is that Kripke is that semantic rules can't purely be in the head, because you can end up in a type of meaning skepticism. So imagine if we had the term water is H2O, but it's water is H2O up until I don't know, X seconds, right? And then once X seconds hits, it's H2O or something, right? I don't know how, or it's just, or water is nothing. It doesn't have a referent. Since that's the issue. Okay, well, how do we account for this? Well, we can account for this in several ways, and there's certain straight approaches. Well, one we can.
I was just thinking appeal to parsimony. Is there an issue with that?
How to appeal to parsimony?
Well, yeah, just one hypothesis that they're using the plus rule would just be more like other.
Well, the issue is about the issue is not with the theory; it's about getting the semantic meaning. It's not about anything meta. Move the try to keep the metaphysical stuff away, right? It's mainly about the semantic meaning of the terms, right?
Well, so by the theory the theory in this context, I wasn't referring to the theory of internalism. I'm referring to the theory of what that person means. Viewing it as I have a hypothesis about what their intent is when they say it, and I'm inducting from the evidence, and it's more parsimonious.
Okay, yeah. So so you're talking about the parsimony, and you would say we would quantify over something some other intent too, and that's how you would cash out parsimony. Or are you cashing out parsimony in some broader sense?
The way I cash out parsimony is maybe the simplest way to analogize it is a game of 20 questions. Just how many propositions would you need to ask to have all the information in the system? I forget the name of the guy. I stole it from some fucking quantum physics person, but I'm blanking on his name.
I have a pretty strict notion of parsimony typically. It's
I can give you the more strict account. I just kind of wanted to get the idea across.
Yeah.
More strict account is how many bit of information required to represent all the information in a system.
Mm-hmm. So there's we can actually have I can actually go through you all the straight solutions and see if your solution's covered.
Okay.
So we have the first straight solution is meaning is determined with past use, and then the skeptical response is that all past use responses, right? Past use is going to be consistent with the divergent rule, and past use past mistakes actually can confirm something towards the divergent rule or whatever, right? And the second one is going to be somebody's ability to state a rule determines if they use it correctly. The main objection is that most people can't state the types of like definitions that use usually. Maybe they can give like broader, like ostensive examples, but most people can't like state that. And then the third is that the fact that I have some disposition to answer particular questions, right? But the issue is that people can make mistakes about their own kind of like way they use terms. And if that's the case, right, we should probably refer to something, kind of outside of their answers, right? We wanna have something. And Kripke's kind of like, I guess like broader net point here is, in his reading of Wittgenstein is that what explains, why we use, this rule as opposed to another rule is just that the community asserts the rule. That's it. That's going to be his non-skeptical response. Is the community just asserts the rule, and when you bring up parsimony, it just seems like it's the same, or it seems like it's very similar to just saying the community asserts the role. Now, if that's the case, it seems like it's leading to some sort of externalist thesis. It's not going to be like it's going to be a very minimal one.
Well, no, I'm saying what the community is doing is not determining the meaning, picking the meaning, so to speak. But what they're trying to do is induct from the evidence to figure out the meaning. The actual meaning is just the intent of the speaker, and what they're doing is trying to induct from the evidence to figure out the speaker's intent.
Okay.
But the true meaning is to make from the speaker.
Well, I would say like it's not, but you would still recognize that like the normative aspects would just come from because my question's not about the meaning of the terms. My question's more about the normative aspects of the terms, like just like the kind of like not correct usage in the sense of like there's external meaning out in the world, but like correct usage in the sense that like like any type of like correct usage. So even by like an intentional based account, like a correct usage would just be what you intend to communicate, right? And if you're going to be providing like an intentional based theory, I assume is going to be providing like content from their intent or their like way they use it, right? And then that like getting at how we get to there, how we get to like that term of use is going to be like what exactly is it going to be like some like ostensive sense like reference or something? Like it's going to be like ostensive sense, like pointing relations.
No, I'm not sure if it's in a sensitive sense. I'd have to think about that for a second.
If it's an ostensive sense,
it doesn't
then
have to be no.
A problem, right? Because if it's an ostensive sense, then
not.
Yeah. If maybe it's like another sense, right? Because maybe it's in the sense that like we get content from like social norms. Is that like the sense?
No, absolutely not. So the intent is intersubjective, so it is in some degree social. I'm trying to like it's certainly not ostensive because I want to be able to include cases where somebody doesn't have an example.
Well, even with like an ostensive like case, right? Like you can just say that he might have like some like really like if he can't provide a direct example, he might have some like neo-Cartesian kind of way of doing it, where he just kind of like can like introspect on like the idea of his and like about like the neo-Cartesian stuff on analyticity and stuff. Like you can just like like he can just kind of have like this like intuitive notion about like what the words are about, right? And that would be some type of ostensive. I mean, he's just going to be referring to that kind of ostensive sense of the word.
But I want to be able to say he's able to I guess you're saying with referring to I don't know if there's cases where somebody's referring to something that's not the idea, and is not hinging that on examples or any kind of like resemblance or anything ostensive.
Well, I mean, like, do you have any intuitions against like other like predominant like semantic?
I have hard intuitions against most externalist theories, but sometimes I've heard externalist theories cast out in such a way that I find them like really, really agreeable. But then it doesn't sound like we're saying anything different. It sounds like we're using.
Yeah. What about like conceptual theories?
I'm not entirely sure on qualifies as a conceptual theory. I've never been able to like grasp that specific make something a conceptual theory.
Okay, so like conceptual role about like conceptual role semantics, like Felders and
yeah, I do.
That's the theory like I follow. I follow conceptual role semantics, but I take it as like a minimal externalist theory. Because like I think that like I'm a naturalist about normativity, so I'm gonna think that there's some like natural properties. Or like I guess I take myself to be like some type of hybrid between a naturalist and constructivist, but whatever. Like I'm like yeah, so like the conceptual role semantics would just say that like the meaning of a term when I is kind of the same as understanding the meaning of a term, and what it means to understand the meaning of a term is just to say that I am prepared to make some set of inferences about the term, and then can be like a whole bunch of different things. There's like a bunch of different conceptual role semantics theories. The theory that I follow is a normativist one, which is to say to be prepared to make a set of inferences about the sentence, right? Because conceptual role semantics is a holistic theory, so it holds that words don't have meanings, but sentences do. To be prepared to make a meaning about inferences about a sentence is just to be equated with like the relevant norms surrounding that sentence, right? Like the relevant social norms. And essentialism is a little bit more restricted. So it's going to say that these norms are only accounted for intra-linguistic transitions. So like, between like inside the language.
There's an issue with the recursion there, right? Like, I mean, the first thing that pops to my head is some kind of like circular reasoning critique.
Oh yeah, like the circular. Yeah, so like what the conceptual role semantics will do is they'll just say like, they'll adopt like a very moderate form of like analyticity, and they'll say, well, it may not be all in like relations, but there can be like some kind of analytic notions or like natural facts that we can like appeal to like avoid circularity, right? For like analytic notion, and then like synthetic notions are just going to be completely like inferential, right?
So even with this answer, it still seems like it's the theory would still say that there's like not a logical contradiction in there being some kind of like circularity of meaning, correct? There's not like a logical issue there.
Yeah, there's no logical contradiction.
Yeah. Trying to think through it because I haven't done enough research to these subjects. I think honestly what I should. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This is my shit. Like I love philosophy language. This is my like favorite field. So.
Yeah, I should probably. If you could send me more sources on conceptual semantics, or specifically, you said that you held to conceptual role semantics. If you could just send me anything on that, that would be super helpful. I'll dig into
sure.
it.
Like absolutely, the Oxford Handbook on the Philosophy of Language has like a really good cover on it. Robert Brandom has an entire paper describing my specific view, which is inferential role semantics, and he's the guy who made the view. There's also 2 books, semantics, which is the 2 books are Articulating Reasons, which is kind of like the prolegomena to the view. If you know that analogy, and
no, I don't.
Like
I feel like I'm not understanding the word. How do you spell that?
Prolegomena. Prolegomena.
Oh, okay. I've not heard of this, but I have seen that word before.
Yeah, it's the thing that the prolegomena to any future metaphysics. It's Kant's like primer to CPR. They'll like when we say like this is the prolegomena to X, we say it's like the primer to like the system or whatever provided. Yeah, so like Articulating Reasons like the prolegomena to his other book, making it explicit. And actually, I have critiques of inferentialism, and I may be moving away from inferentialism partially, but like I'm still kind of opposed to the theory. And like at least the intuitions of the theory and like the theory more broadly. Inferentialism. Jarda Peregrine has like a thing on it, but Robert Brandom has an entire paper describing the view.
I'll definitely check that out. Thanks.
Yeah, he also has an entire book as an introduction. Like And it also can translate to logic because he would hold like an expressivist view of like logical laws and stuff. So
that's pretty cool. All right, hold on, let me write this down. Okay, Bess, I'm definitely gonna read into that later. Oh shit, thank you.
yeah, inferential. With conceptual role semantics more broadly, there's also ways of caching out moral terms in terms of conceptual role semantics. They have entire like papers on like moral semantics. Like it's a lot. Ralph Wedgwood has a paper on it. So also my professor has written like 2 reviews on these books too. And I can even get you in contact with my professor if you want to know everything about it. So
that would be super fucking best. That would be like really, really, really helpful.
All right. So he's the current like I don't want to dox myself, but like probably everybody knows my dox at this point. So this is his name. He does mostly like bridging projects between continental analytic philosophy, with this other guy named this. Yeah, and basically he's done like another papers also with this guy too. You can go look him up on papers. He has a review of his book and critiques of critiques of him with you.
That is so fucking based. I'm gonna put this on put all this shit on the top of my reading list right after the fucking right after this when I get to know this stupid fucking
Yeah, are you what are you reading currently on the quantum physics stuff?
Oh god, there's so much fucking shit that's so worth reading. Most literature I've been reading on has just been in regards to quantum computing, but I can send you some shit on that. Give me just a second.
Yeah, like Grice is like the kind of main guy who does the intentional based theory of like on meaning. And if you want a broader overview, I recommend the Oxford Handbook on the Philosophy of Language. It has the intention-based theory.
That's super based.
That will probably help if reading Brandom because Brandom's like really advanced. And I think what was the critique of intentional based semantics I found? I think it's the 3 mistakes about semantic intentions, and then also the critique provided by the lecturer that I watched.
Give me just a second here so I can send my shit over too, because you asked me about the shit I was reading.
Yeah, currently I'm reading about like metaphysics, so I'm like super interested in this. I'm reading about like hyperintentionality in metaphysics, so.
I had before actually reading into the fucking quantum physics shit. I had heard that like, oh, the people talking about how like, oh, if you think you understand quantum physics, you just totally shit. And like I kind of thought that like it's not true. It might just be like the kind of if you get into it's like understandable. It's fucking incomprehensible. It's such a fucking mindfuck. There's this even just thinking about like there's a thing in quantum computing called like a Hadamard gate. What a Hadamard gate does is it takes any take a random qubit, which is just like the basic store of information, just like a 1 or 0 in quantum computing. It takes that and turns it to a superposition. So it's like in that weird state between 1 and 0. But some fucking how it preserves like a oneness or 0 and back out my hard gate on the line. And it just comes right back out. It's like it seems like shit's coming from nowhere. It's got these like crazy ways that you can like send information along a line using a superposition. Some people think that like quantum teleportation means that it's like faster than light. What it requires is like some kind of like encoding algorithm along the way. and that allows you to interpret whatever the meaning is coming along those coming along with the superposition. So it's not faster than light. That's like a weird name. But holy shit, it's like such a fucking field.
Yeah, I've read some stuff on like the philosophy of quantum physics, mainly on like the determinism versus indeterminism stuff. Oh, also on inferentialism. Inferentialism can be applied because everything in philosophy of language can be more broadly. It's also provide to evolutionary debunking arguments, and it can be applied to evolutionary debunking arguments and the evolutionary argument against naturalism too. So yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm something out.
No, fuck. These this is in terms of shift in physics was something that like for a really really long time I thought was like there had to be some way to make it deterministic. But now the main reason why I think it's like probably just like genuinely deterministic is that there are certain like algorithmic advantages. It's weird to say it. There are certain like algorithmic advantages to if you actually just have like indeterminacy. So if you just throw it back up to determinacy, usually the route that makes the most sense, because pilot wave theory is kind of like a meme at this point, is like a many worlds interpretation, which is pretty fucking plausible. But it's still really fucking weird that it would be like, oh yeah, all the stand in like different amounts. Sorry, go ahead.
Isn't the issue with pilot wave theory is they haven't provided like a relativistic version of it yet?
That's one issue with pilot wave theory. Other ones are genuinely like it's like it unironically does like more harm to like reasonable senses of parsimony than like many worlds interpretation does. Like the same amount of information is required under many worlds interpretation is just required for not having it with pilot wave theory. With the exception of pilot wave theory, so much things of pilot waves. And so you get the exact same amount of predictive power as you do with many worlds. But unless you think that like there being just the number one that actually exists is more parsimonious than like all of the integers or something, then it just doesn't seem like the kind of thing that's going to be like a real hit to parsimony for many worlds interpretation. Whereas it does seem to be a hit to parsimony for a pilot wave theory because it pauses pilot waves.
Yeah. What I also want to like point out. Wait, did you want to have like a real mindfuck like metaphysics wise?
Yes.
Okay, so like you know about intentionality, like the intentional extensional distinction. Do you know about hyperintentionality? All right. Do you know like the metaphysics mindfucks of fucking hyperintentionality that I have been dealing with like the past like 2 months? It is.
No, fucking tell me about it.
Get ready to commit to fucking impossible worlds. Like that shit. Okay,
I'm so like ready.
okay, so like like in the intentional revolution, we wanted to like have like a metaphysical realist way of cashing out like intentional statements in metaphysics, and we did that through modal. We were like, oh, well, here's like the possible world where like we refer like Clark Kent as like we don't refer to Clark Kent as Superman or whatever, like that's kind of how we cashed it out. So like here's the thing, in the early 2000s, Fine found out that like with like essential properties, that these are hyper intentional. Because like let's say like we agree that like human and being a set of humans are going to be necessarily equivalent, right? But like just because these has humanness as an essential property, like essentially as human, doesn't mean that Socrates is also like that Socrates is a member of the set of all humans essentially, right? Like that's not an essential property of him. Because that isn't what we really mean by essential properties. We mean something like the quiddity of Socrates or whatever. And then other so like we'll say like Beijing and the singleton of Beijing, right? So Beijing grounds the singleton of Beijing, but the singleton of Beijing doesn't ground Beijing, right? Because grounding is going to be asymmetric, right? And even those that are necessarily equivalent, it's hyperintentional, right? Like how are we going to explain hyperintentionality in terms of how are we going to explain hyperintentionality in terms of like a mind independent thing? And oh my god, there's so much. So like firstly, there's like the impossible worlds approach where you just take counterpossibles and you don't accept vacuism, right? About counterpossibles. And the reason why you would not want to accept vacuism is complicated. It has to do with some math stuff. Like certain mathematical theories rely on like counterpossibles for us to make sense of like what the consequences of the theories are, right? Even if they're like necessary. So that'd be like one way. Like so we can use counterpossibles. So we would just like refer to the impossible world where humans exist, but the set of all humans exist, or the impossible world where Beijing exists and the singleton of Beijing doesn't exist, right? Another case is the structured. I don't know much about that. Another way is two-dimensional semantics, where you just like judge on like the entailments of like individual like utterance sentences, and then you just like check their entailments to see like the differences. But that's going to commit you to like philosophy of language and conceivability, like obviously, right? Because it's a two-dimensional semantic theory. And then another way is going to be the relevance logic way. I'm not very familiar with that one because I've been reading through like the entire literature on each of them at a time. And then the algebraic way is going to be like probably like the simplest way. It's just that you take the meanings, like the different distinctions as primitive, and then you just kind of like, I think one of them uses like a Boolean case, like Boolean algebra, to like determine like the distinctions there. And you just take the meanings as primitive. So yeah, like there's so much on it. Like an entire like set of literature now, just trying to give like mind independent ways of cashing out hyperintentionality.
That is fucking insane. I need to read into that too. That's wild. Oh fuck! I grabbed my fucking the PDFs that I downloaded. There are 2 textbooks, and I'm reading through the documentation for a piece of software called QSicket, which is it's a Python library for quantum computing stuff. As a later than using because there's kind of word for IBM's API only have like fucking 7 qubit.
I know a guy who does like quantum computing stuff. If you want to get in contact with him,
I would love to. Holy fucking shit! I want to talk that guy's ear off. I want to like ask him every question.
He also does combinatorial typology and algebraic topology. So and he does like cat theory. He applies that to quantum stuff. So I mean here.
You said cat theory?
Yeah, category theory.
Oh, category theory. Okay, I thought you said cat theory as in like Brockhat theory.
No, I just call it cat theory because I'm autistic.
I get you. That makes perfect sense. Actually.
Yeah. This is I found him on. I don't know if I found him on server or if I found him on 4chan. I can't remember.
4chan quantum computing guys is funny as fuck.
No, when I met one of my exes on 4chan, it's insane.
On social, on one of the different boards.
On TTTT.
That's so fair.
Yeah.
That's the most dating of board. Social's a board where you like pretend that you're gonna get pussy and you don't.
No.
I mean, I'm sure Sinthe spent several hours on TTT, so.
Yeah, she actually posted a critique of I think she posted a critique of long-termism. Like she has like a paper published of a critique of long-termism.
Oh, it's not Amelia Torres, is it?
No, it's Zimo Zhang. She gets it from economic discounting. Yeah, she just says like there are situations where we should like economically like discount that like the long-termist predicts like we shouldn't economically discount. And she like provides I think it's like cases with like medical insurance or whatever.
I'm not sure. I'm just saying we should do that. Or alternatively, like long-termism doesn't predict it. It's one of those things where it's like it's hard to see how.
I can get you in contact with her. She wrote the paper. She like gives like a Ramsey account of
That would be cool. Also, I want to read the paper first.
Yeah, she's my
give a server based. Am I in your server? I don't think I am.
I think I invited you. I don't know. I think I accidentally invited you and then didn't invite you.
Wow, that's
there we go.
She's also recently is publishing a paper critiquing. She's right now publishing a paper critiquing Jonathan Schaeffer on quantum stuff, and in philosophy and university, like physics and philosophy in university, specifically to do like philosophy of physics and stuff. So
that's super sick.
Mhm. Where's her publications? What? Oh, does she not have the publications anymore? Give me a second. Let me pull up the economic discounting stuff. Huh. I'll look for you. Oh, found it. Oh no, she deleted the entry. I don't know why she deleted the entry. But anyway, she could probably provide you the paper if you just got in contact with her. She's like really smart. But yeah, that's like, you know, it's kind of like my familiarity with long termism. It's just from the from her talking about it.
You're not sure. I'm not sure how you love termism that ends up coming to the conclusion that you like. I'm trying to figure out like what is being taken for long termism here. Just like the view that you value future people equally, or is it the view that like future is it being taken to be like the view that we should prioritize distant future states of affairs?
I think she takes it as the view that we should value future people equally. Right, in the paper. From last time I read the paper, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it seems okay. There's like a fairness of view, but it's not how. Is it just like is the attempt just to be like some argument from like a reductio or something?
I think. Give me a second. Let me pull up the discounting paper. I'm gonna have to go so far back. Give me a second. Oh damn, I'm sorry. Like this is just memories. Anyway, this is such a. I'm like she's explaining Kant. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll have to find it. Or you can just contact her. I mean, like, she's on my server. You can find her.
Okay, good shit. What time is it? It's 5 a.m. Holy shit.
Yeah, she's also like a hardcore fucking physicalist. So.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be like the main critique I'd run with physicalists was just like the Hempel's dilemma stuff, but honestly at this point I'm just like, I'm just of the view that like physicalists and the non-ideals are kind of talking about the same different and so I've lost a lot of interest there. But
I actually agree with you partially. It just depends on what Nine seen insane ideal. Are you talking like the Straussonian stuff, like the panpsychist, like Philip Goff stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because like the idealist theories I'm familiar with are going to be like the German kind of like stuff, or like the phenomenology, like transcendental phenomenology, whatever. And I mean, like, there's some arguments you can give against it. I think like there's two ways of cashing out physicalism that I find satisfactory. I think they're both false. The first like way is the well, actually, I think one of them is not satisfactory, but for a different reason. The first way is the physicalism as an attitude, and we just say that like contemporary physics, like we just like have an whatever contemporary physics is talking about, like ontologically, until like contemporary physics advances, and then we just commit to whatever they're talking about then, right? The second, my critique of that view is like, well, it just seems like you're just talking about an attitude you have, and not really like a strong metaphysical thesis.
That was referring to a thing that I like talk about it. Like, yeah, just the idea that
but I mean, like the physicists respond that like, you know, most types of like metaphysical views. I mean, for her, I think Alyssine responds by just like most metaphysical theories are just kind of talking about your attitude towards things.
I want to ask a clarifying question about that. Like, is it the view that physicalism commits you to these, or physicalism like you are exclusively committed to these Because if you're exclusively,
I'm just
then
gonna
there's some
say
weird.
that like it depends on how you exactly want to cash it out. Like if you're a physicalist in the sense that so there's a bunch of different ways to like cash out physicalism. These are the only two ones I'm talking about right now that I find intuitive and make sense and I can really talk about. I think are like the strongest. She's just gonna say that whatever like contemporary physics talks about, we're just gonna kind of we have to commit to like only those, or at least we commit to only those stuff, right? And then there's a second theory.
Before we move on to the second theory, like the first thing that jumps out at me about that one is it just seems like it's it spelled to for express is list in this sense. They would never commit to any kind of new positing fundamental types of stuff.
Yeah, and then the second theory is that it's kind of like the it's like the fields analogy. It's just okay. Well, what how do I learn more about biology? They go to a chemist, or about like chemistry, go to a physicist, and then like whatever field like physics is trying to discuss, like whatever the goals of physics are, what physics is trying to encapsulate as a project, that's the most like fundamental stuff in reality, right? And that's kind of one. And then there's kind of like a broader sense of how to hash this out. So the first kind of sense is like the space-time substratus one. So you just say the only things that exist are things that exist in space-time. And the things that exist in space-time, most fundamentally, are going to be the things discussed in physics. A more hardcore way is you just go with the Humean mosaic. So you say like which is like an anti-Heiseatist view. Right? It's Lewis's view. I think you know about Lewis, so you know the Humean mosaic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the more hardcore way, and then you just say like, yeah, whatever the human base mosaic is just captured by physics, right? That's just going to be captured. That the fundamental kind of reality of that mosaic is be captured by physics in some way. I mean, the issues with this view is it seems
good hand
fully,
for you.
yeah, it seems to not fully commit you to like physicalism and like it seems to kind of contradict itself in some ways because Humean mosaic theorists are going to like go for like a regularity theory, but like in order to make a regularity theory work, you have to posit universals typically, right? So that's how Lewis does it. He's going to say I'm a posit universals, like about like the discussion like natural laws and universals.
Yeah.
So well, how do I talk about universals then? Well, Lewis is just going to say the relations, but then then you're talking about something more than just like space time, like substrate, right? Like the space-time substrate. You're talking about like relations that are like modal and stuff. And that's
maybe I'm misinterpreting what we mean by in when you say it's like in the first of the two, the less what you call the less hardcore one. Maybe I'm misinterpreting in, but wouldn't that be some in the space-time is space-time?
Yeah, well, it's like whatever exists would have like spatial temporal properties.
That seems even.
Yeah.
That seems.
And then the mosaic would just say like every is a little bit more hardcore because it's also non-Heiseatist. So they're gonna say like everything, like it's gonna be a little bit more hardcore. Because like you can hold like a view that's like there's like qualitative properties. They just don't like I guess exist in the proper sense like in space time, right? Like the Heiseatist sense. But like in the Humean view, like everything's also determined. Everything's identity is also kind of determined by its locations in space time. It's not merely that everything with spatiotemporal properties, right? So, like some things like metaphysical explanation and identity is just explained in virtue of this space time here. Right? So that's like the kind of two ways, and those are the ways that you kind of cash out. And then there's like the broadest, I think the strongest sense, and this is going to be really hardcore and kind of schizo, but like you basically hold that like physics as like a theory, like physics as a theory isn't trying to explain like mereological symbols. So you hold that the world is one concrete token. It's called priority monism. It's the physicalist form. You hold the world is one concrete token, and it's one composite concrete token, and it's infinitely gunky.
and you basically use some quantum stuff, like quantum indivisibility, to argue that like the world is just one giant kind of wave function,